welcome to Agweedo 13. Another double plus wrong fun productions panned by some guy. And last we left off on Buick. Pierre, do you want to give us an update on the last session?
Yeah, certainly. And it was a beautiful session. Why? I'll reveal that. Okay, so um, we had the jump amplifier installed, and we went to Tezo. We were 1 week in jump. Steve was working on figuring out how that drive works, though. I mean, as his character Stony, and let me check. And Verbal tried to do some sensors before we jumped to check the black hole and to make absolutely sure those bad guys could not have left it, but very doubtful they could survive that. And we ended up, we came out of jump space to Tezo. The fuel consumed was only jump 1, but in fact we were 2 away, I think, so that was a great improvement. The area was clear, normal radio traffic, and we characteristics of the planet. We had clearance to land. We landed on an open platform, but a plastic tube extended to us. And let's see, we wanted to check. Oh, we found that we were in platform 17, landing platform 17. Affiliate people affiliated to Pliskin were actually around landing platform 66 and 67. So, we ran a risk of meeting them. And Captain Rodriguez used Streetwise. You found that the whole Pliskin organization was looking for info on our ship, Venusian Wind, and we may not have had any danger from the affiliates themselves, because Pliskin organization wanted to kill us themselves, so the affiliates might not be so interested. A woman came to us at a tavern. Her name was Chloe Lee. She had mustered out of the Navy. She had a job proposition for us. She wanted to move some textile cargo and go to Buick and sell it there. We tried to do some computer type searches. Her story seemed to check out. She used to be, she was a friend of Dr. Zarkov, and she was opposed to the other guy, Sokolowski. She's not part of the Pliskin organization as far as we knew by checking the algorithm, the information about the Pliskin organization that we had here. It was found out that a friend of Chloe Lee was taken up by the Pliskin organization, but I think Chloe rescued him. So her story checked out, and
her
story checked out. And so we did the deal for the 40 tons of textiles at 300, and it was at 40% of the base price of 3,000 credits. So that means that we paid 48,000 instead of 120,000. And she wanted 20% of the profits and a free passage. And there were some guys around there just watching us. So we no encounter. I mean, no combat, but an encounter. And she also did tricks to alter the cargo manifest at the starport and make it appear as if we were going to Mitchell instead of where we were really going, which was Buick. And then we headed out. Then we were being chased by a far trader. As soon as we left, trying to head to 100 diameters. Let me see. And then there was a jump signature, and a battered patrol cruiser came out in front of it, and it was Pliskin's own stolen patrol cruiser. So we were surrounded. There was a ship chasing us, and a ship that came out of jump in front of us. So big combat. I don't know if anybody else wants to butt in with notable combat incidents.
Middle finger raised, goodbye Pliskin.
Yeah. So after all that, extensive ship-to-ship combat, and then a big explosion. It was actually Jack Skyson's fault. He launched a missile. He rolled a 12 for the effect, and on a 1d6 crit roll, he rolled a 6. That was a complete explosion of the ship. Pliskin DEAD, and Jack Skyson had a big grin on his face, and the grin did not disappear until halfway through the jump, I think. So we jumped, and then Chloe was engaged in flirting with Captain Rodrigo. I'm going to veil all that stuff.
A little more than flirting, but anyways, okay.
Yeah, just stomach turning. I think it was disrupting. Verbal's vibration sensor
But
readings.
only for a short while,
And-
Verbal. You told us.
Yeah, only for a short while. That's true.
Yeah,
right.
very short. Very, actually, extremely
Okay.
short, really, when you think about things.
And we came out to Buick, which is looks like a Rich World Garden Planet sort of place. We needed ship parts. Chloe wanted us to meet her friend Baroness Fatima Murphy. And was that who we sold the textiles to in the end? Or was
Yes,
it somebody else?
her affiliate company. You guys
Okay.
negotiated the price with her.
So, beautiful terror-like world, wonderful Pliskin-free cosmos, and we sold the textiles at a big profit. It was like 200% of base price here at Buick's. That was, we paid $48,000, we earned $240,000, and all the figures have been worked out and stored here. And what do we have here? Also the gems. We sold the gems? Another big profit. So 1 million's price became 4 million. So our ship is in the millionaires, and then so at this point, at this juncture, we sort of went into a big party, which might be fun to elaborate. I don't know if I don't know if we described the party, but that's where we left off.
Yeah.
Stoney stayed with the ship.
Stoney didn't go to the party?
No.
No party?
You would have had to come to the party at least by the next day, because that's what you would be gathering with the crew. You didn't go to the party, Stoney?
No. Looking after the ship.
Okay.
We buy archaic 1,000-credit bills, and we light our cigars with them. All that sort of fun party stuff.
Well, you enjoy your smokes.
With the ship, he's not along at all, but Captain Rodrigo is there, and
I'll have a radio link to them, but
okay, Captain Rodrigo is there, and that's pretty much accurate.
Okay.
That's pretty much accurate. Accurate report there, Pierre.
Yeah, and Cowboy probably told Stoney, hey, Stoney, don't you want one of these vegan cigars? They're perfectly vegan.
Right. Actually, the party was quite a blast. It was quite a blast. You guys are loaded up on credits right now. The ship fund is at 4,901,700. We are in the third week of September, so salaries have not been paid. But then again, we did add retirement. If you check on the sheet, both Carlos retired from the other and 5 terms, and Rodrigo is retired from the merchants 5 terms, and that's 1,000. That's 3 times the chart, which is 12,000, which is 1,000 a month pension. So that money's been added because I added that money into the personal funds, and no salaries have not been added into the personal funds because we haven't crossed into another month yet. So no other payments have been made. Stoney, you did oversee the repairs.
Yep.
So the turret is completely repaired. You got the parts. We'll say that's what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, you guys would wake up. I know Verbal was partying a little bit. You might wake up somewhere on a couch, and Jug was obviously partying. Actually, Fatima had an interest in Jug and seduced him, and Jug would wake up in a huge, giant king-size bed with her, and she's getting dressed now and appropriate, and more or less you are just a boy toy to her because she's dominating. She's not relationship material. She's in charge. So now, Captain Rodrigo, you wake up, and when you wake up, you look up, and there's Chloe Lee, and she's getting dressed and prepped. It's like she's got something important to do.
Well,
yeah.
I'll
and that's
in my worst best possible way, I'll try to entice her back into the bed.
Hey, Jerry, do you mind if I jump in there? You're full of BS.
Go ahead.
It had nothing whatsoever to do with that bitch.
Okay, so you didn't do it. You didn't do anything there. Okay, that's your call. Okay, you laid off of that. All right. So you're trying to entice her back. She comes and sits down next to you and says, "It's time to get up." And then she says, she more or less blows you off.
So,
She's
well,
like, "It's time."
what's the hurry? What's the hurry? Where you go? Where you got to go?
Well, we got a big day ahead of us. There's some people coming, and there's going to be a big breakfast. And I know Fatima has an interest in that. Okay, Jug, since you wake up then on a couch, you blew off Fatima, so Fatima would be a little annoyed because she's not used to that. But she's acceptive because you're heroes, and she can have whoever she wants anyway. And then while you're sitting on the couch and you wake up, all of a sudden Cowboy comes out of a room in his boxer shorts with just his cowboy hat on. And he goes, "Boy, that was a hell of a party. God darn it, where the hell did my pants go?" And that's your first image waking up is seeing Cow. He's got his hat on, just boxer shorts and his boots.
Right, and if
I don't know what the hell happened.
I'd say the same place you put your dignity, mate.
Two maidens come out. One comes out with his pants, the other one with his stuff. "Here you go, sir. You're here," and that kind of shuffles about itself.
I will tell Cowboy where the doctor is and advise him to have himself checked for an STD.
And anything else they might be.
So there's these two maidens that come out of the room he was in. There's this big open area, and there's all these rooms alongside of it. And then there's this big like open concept party room that you're in. Furniture and a ballroom dance floor, and people are scattered everywhere, getting up. And now they're starting to get up, and there's maids in there cleaning it, cleaning crew in there, cleaning everything up, like almost like it didn't happen.
Yeah, if she's not going to relent and get back into bed with the captain, then he's gonna get up and see what all the fuss is about.
So as soon as he gets up and starts getting dressed, she reaches over to you and she gives you a big hug and says, "Captain, it's been excellent, and I've had the most fun last week with you, but last night was the last time that we're together, and it's now business and a friendship. I will always hold the secrets and value and treasure this last week. But I'm not sleeping with you anymore, and life's going to move on from here." And she's sincere and genuine and honest.
Yeah.
But it's kind of distasteful though. So
no, it's still good.
But
Captain's already got a story. He had to break up with her because she was just too clingy.
Everybody bleeds.
Yeah. So he'll come out and greet his crew and say, "Well, boys, it's time we need to leave this rock as soon as we get some cargo in one."
He says, "Wait a minute." Fatima comes out. He says, "Well, we have a long day ahead of us. You are heroes, and I have someone that I would like you to meet."
Well,
and
if it's going to be financially profitable, I'm more than willing to.
Very financially profitable.
Oh wow!
But we'd like a day of sport. We'd like to take you on a day of sport today. But anyways, I think he's arriving now. It's my cousin, Sir Andrew Bauer.
Oh, Sir Andrew Bauer, right? A day of sport, as long as not we're the ones being hunted, I think I'll be fine with that.
No. It's not like that. We'll get into that in a minute. I'm going to load an image here if I can get to it.
I think the name was mentioned before, Sir Andrew Bauer.
Okay.
It was. And he'll be loading in a second on the page.
Oh yeah, there he is.
Sir Andrew Bauer, he's right here. Boom. And he comes, and all of a sudden he pulls up, and he's in. Remember, this is 1920s to 1900 to like 1940, common technology. But the nobles and of course the military, there is higher technology, but the society as a whole is at a tech level 5. He pulls up and it's like a big old jalopy, like one of those big old long 1920s. Yeah, Mercedes or whatever they were, with the big flared out fenders, and it's convertible. And he comes up, hello. He says, "You are the heroes." My name is Sir Andrew Bauer. As he enters the room,
I'll put out my hand.
He's got a couple other.
Myself as Captain Hudeke. Whatever is my name.
Captain Rodrigo, you
Yeah.
are a hero. And I am so grateful for what you've accomplished. He says, I'm here on the call with my cousin Fatima. He says, I am and you, and he looks over and he points to Chloe. You're the engineer, aren't you, my dear? You are the engineer. And she goes, yeah, by the way. And she's already like bashful, kind of flirty. She goes, yes, I am. I've heard great things about you. I've heard all, and Fatima's there. Yes, this is Chloe. She's pointing and starts talking. She's not only the one whose swiftness and crew saved my ship when I was adventuring in the Agweedo subsector. She's also was the one who put the turret back together long enough for the missile to be fired that took Pliskin out. She goes, yes, yeah. I'm in dire need of an engineer. And based on your credentials and everything, I would like to hire you if you're willing to accept the position aboard my ship. And she's all of a sudden, well, absolutely. Says that you'll have your own stateroom. I have a yacht, and my yacht is it's named the Sky's Eye, and my crew. And she starts introducing you. You will now be joining my crew. On and on about that, and I'll give you a. I'm gonna change the picture here, and starts introducing you to people now. You guys are all talking. I'm gonna
okay, while that's
and here,
if I can quietly get verbal, he's got a hand computer or something, just to do a quick sweep on what he can find out about this guy. I'll try to run interference for him or something, if he can.
This guy? Oh, this guy.
This
okay.
guy. Yeah.
This guy. Okay.
Yeah.
Andrew. Okay. Andrew Bauer. It checks out exactly correct. He's on the pocket computer off to the back by one of the kitchen cabinets out of just a little around the corner, and he's running the screen. He's connected to the neural net. And what do you come up with? Do you give me a roll first? Let me see. Give me a computer roll, and then I'll tell you. Let's get this right.
I'm gonna check hoity-toitypedia.
Awesome. That'll be in there somewhere.
Standard public type stuff, and what was it again? I can't even remember. Computer 1, of course, Computer 1. Didn't have buttons set up or any macros. Roll 2d6.
+1, right?
Computer search. Oh, that's poor.
No, you don't. Nothing's coming up. It's not working right. But anyways, so you're drawing a blank. Nothing, absolutely nothing is. You can't get it working right on the cuff. You're gonna have to investigate later. But he says, "Hello, my name is Sir Andrew Bauer, and he's a knight, obviously, and he owns the ship that's above you that you see there, and it's the Sky's Eye, and his crew's along. So the crew's all there, and he's introducing them to you. He says, my ship is it's a modified yacht capable of 4G acceleration, jump 2, and I have 14. I have the same staterooms, but I've dumped the launch in the ATV for higher speed and better performance. And also, I have 2 pop-up turrets, both two triple turrets, pulse beam missile and pulse beam gun. And then he's going to go into, as you see the pictures that come up on the screen, he introduces you. This is my right-hand man, Michael Simon, which is the next picture over. He's the personal steward. He does sensors and navigation.
Oops. Are we talking about on the map?
Because I got nothing.
Yeah, I just see the 2 sectors.
I changed the display. It didn't change?
No.
No, what you have to do is you have to click the little banner to move us along with what you're seeing.
Yeah, you're going to move us onto it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because we only see what's with that.
Boom.
There we
go. Okay, now you will.
Got it.
Okay, now you'll see it.
Waiting.
I moved it.
I'm not seeing anything.
Yeah, it's
I will be I will probably be yeah, because I have a different. Hang on, I'm getting over there. Rightio, I'm there now. I forgot because I've got DM status, so
you have DM status. So you could just go up to the bar and see it.
I've got to go.
Yeah,
over to
you
it.
could go up to the bar and see it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
You can temporarily drop GM status, by the way. I think there's something option in the settings. You can do that.
That's cool.
Okay. You don't have to do that right now, but anyway, so he's going to introduce you to the people. The first guy is his fourth officer, Michael Simon. Michael Simon's his right-hand man. He's the key steward. And then you have Dr. Logan Romanowski. He's 22. He's a medic 3. He's the personal doctor on board of the ship, and there's full medical facilities. Army Major Mary Smith, who's a gunner 2 and is really good with a whole variety of weapons. Marine Force Commander Juan Diaz, who's also a gunner 2 and is good with a whole variety of weapons. And the newest
Mary Sue?
Who?
Mary Sue. You said the gunner, Mary Sue.
Mary Smith. Mary Smith. Mary Smith is the other gunner. And then you have
easy mistake to make.
Okay. You have Juan Diaz, who's also the second gunner, and then Chloe now is joining their crew. Chloe is the key engineer of his ship. So she'll be moving in and aboard that ship. And and I'm going to make that information public to you right now.
Yeah.
Because
there's no pilot.
Show players, show to everyone. Boom. You'll see it in the handouts.
Yep.
Everything about the ship and the players. And those are the players that you see up on top. So now it's just entered the handouts. That's all the information and everyone you see. So she is now officially a part of his crew. And you guys are having a big breakfast and thing. And he says, "Well, gentlemen," he pulls out a bag of like diamonds. This is worth about 12,000 credits. I have a challenge for you. A little day of sport, shall we? He says, "Do you ever fly bi-wing propeller planes?" These planes are similar to like Red Baron and World War I type of planes.
Blip, 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 blip. Well, Rodriguez only has air aft. Don't know what
Rodriguez does have pilot 2. Pilot, we will substitute pilot or air ref, one or the other, but one level lower. So you would be pilot 1 then at that.
Yep.
But you'll get no dex bonuses. Where they'll get their skill, plus they're going to get their dex bonuses and intelligence bonuses too, because they are good at this. But anyways, he's challenging you to a flight, and what it is it's a chase and it's a dogfight. It's simulated. The bullets are simulated, and the damage is simulated, and the terrain is simulated, but the flying is real. And once you're killed, the autopilot will take over and land it. You have to wear these goggles, and he says, "Anyone interested in a game of sport, winner takes the gems." I haven't met anyone who's taken the gems from me yet, but I'd like to have a little sport with you, and then I have some business propositions following that.
Rodriguez is always out for making money, so I guess he can't resist saying yes.
Okay. Anyone else with pilot skills? I think Skyson has pilot skill. He could go at 0.
Yeah. Let's check
0.
that.
Or air skill.
Yeah. So naturally, I got pilot 1. You say I got to drop the skill by 1 because it's a biplane. Oh, yeah. Because it's I'm unspecialized, so.
Yeah, because you're not specialized. We're giving you a -1 skill. If you have pilot or air raft, you can take one or the other at minus. Jug has air raft 1. He could do it at 0 if he would like to participate in this and shake a challenge at winning. Fatima's going to do it too. But Fatima's kind of she doesn't even want to talk to you because she's not used to being rejected by anyone. So, but she still respects that you're a hero. But she just,
it's like 8 hours to her 4 o'clock. You know, what does it matter to her?
Yeah, something like that. So, are you guys on board with this or no?
Rodriguez is.
You go and do it.
Sure, I'll do it.
Okay, so Simon, he's driving and he's going to escort you guys all. It's a big car, so you can all jump in the car and you're going to drive down this road. And it's a big open, like flat salt region. It's not that far. It's like behind the mansion, and the area is like flat for miles. And there you see several bipeller planes landed. And he says, the thing is, though, there's a tutorial which will take you through the controls. You have to wear the goggles. So who's all doing it?
Rodriguez.
Rodriguez is. Skyson, are you going? You're playing Skyson? Skyson would be interested in money.
Yeah.
If you could have a chance at. Okay, so Skyson will be. Rodrigo is. Skyson.
And
Jug, are you going to go at 0?
Yes, of course.
Jug is in. Okay. So it's Fatima.
Jug will announce. Jug will announce. Gentlemen, would any of you like to surrender to me at this point?
We're all 0. We're all skill 0, though.
No. I'm 1.
We shall. You're 1. We shall see, my lad. We shall see, my lad. Well, first thing you do is you climb in, and he explains to you the controls, and it's pretty simple. But the propeller, and you see, there's also some computer stuff plugged in, and there's goggles. He says you must wear the goggles and plug in the headset, and then he gives you the goggles to put on. As soon as you drop the goggles down, all of a sudden there's a runway, and it's all these canyons. The flat salt is gone, and there's these. It's like a whole variety of mountainous canyon and rock. Mm-hmm. So he says, "All right, gentlemen, the idea is we're going to fly through these canyons. We fight each other like a dog fight, and whoever wins without being killed, hypothetically killed, you won't be killed. Mm-hmm. We won't crash. There's safeguards.
I'm sure there are.
But the bullets and the damage is real. It seems real. You'll feel like it's gotten hit. You'll see actual bullets. So you have to plug in the headset and you put on the visors. So everybody's going to need to take off, and everybody who's going, please roll for takeoff, and we'll go from there. So where he's going, here you go. You'll be taking off. He takes off first. He's going to start heading into the canyon.
Well, that's Stoney as Rodriguez. So Rodriguez gets a 12.
Oh, he really?
Yep.
Skyson's already struggling off the bat. The takeoff is very rough and a little bumpy, but you're up and at him, but you're almost. Luckily, you're not near the canyon. And Jugs too is struggling up, but Stoney. Rodrigo is right on it. He's already on it, and I'm rolling for these guys over here. You can't even see it. Oh, but you know what though? You're no match for up behind you and going to fire on you. He's going to fire on you, and let me see what his stats are. He's firing on and he misses. The bullets are firing towards Stoney, but he misses. Rodriguez. And Fatima now is going to be firing. Rodrigo, excuse me. Yeah. Fatima's going to be firing on one of you, and she misses. Now, Jug, you're at it. You guys are all up in the air. You can take some shots. He changed his image. All right.
Yeah.
Changed his image too.
So what are we using as a shooting skill?
Yeah, well, we're just going to roll with the pilot skill is the same. Your pilot skill will still be the shooting skill. You're not going to get to use your gunner skill because you're not used to it. But Skyson will get a plus to his dex because he is a gunner. So he's 0 plus 2. So Skyson's going to get a little bit. But it's also difficult, too. Ram him. You can't ram him, though. That won't be allowed. But you can do that same maneuver and shoot him. There's safeguards. You're not going to crash into each other. So give me a roll. Give me a roll, Jug. Let's see if you can do it. 9. Ooh. It's a difficult roll. Let me see. He's going to get a defensive roll. Let's see if he outmaneuvers you, and I'm going to. Otherwise, this would be a hit. I'll roll it live. If this roll fails, it's a hit, which obviously you should have hit him, but somehow he pulled out and around. So you have this thing going on, and now he pulled out and around, and he's facing directly at Rodrigo. and he fires again. Rodrigo, you've been hit. You're hit. You can feel the thing all of a sudden starts vibrating like you're going to go into the wall. You're going to go into the canyon.
When do
I need you to give me a pilot.
Shoot? When
You don't get to shoot.
I don't get to shoot. Okay, here's my piloting roll. 10.
Your piloting roll, you pulled out of it, but you have some damage. You could try to re-aim to shoot at him again, which will be a +1, which will be difficult under the damage. So you're going to need a 10 or higher with a +1 to hit him. Because now you've been damaged, so you're already down. Oh, you did hit him. You actually did hit him, and he's shocked. He's shocked. He's also damaged, so now he's going to be down a little bit.
I'll give him a little wave from behind my screen.
Fatima sneaks up on you, and she's going to take a hit, and that's a hit. Next thing you know, you're going to be heading into the canyon. You've been hit twice, Rodrigo. You're going to need to pull up. You need to pull up now.
Well,
yeah, pretty
John,
much.
A piloting roll.
2D +1. It's difficult now, so you need a 9 or higher.
9 it is.
Does he pulls out of it? He's steaming around. Anybody else? Jug.
Very little way.
Jug.
Yeah,
Jug, what do you?
Yeah, you said that to shoot I could get a +2 because of gunner experience.
Yeah, but it's still difficult because you're not used to it. So it's an 8 or higher.
Okay. All right.
And he hits. Who did you shoot at?
Let me see who was available.
All the other side.
I'm gonna one. No, I'm not giving you that choice. 1, 2, 3. It was 1, 2. Your 1, 2, 3 would be Fatima. 4, 5. No, 1, 2, 3 is Andrew. 4, 5, 6 is Fatima. And you hit Fatima, and you did some damage to her, so she's a little crippled. You guys are actually coming out pretty good on this so far. But you have 2 hits, Calmero, so you're starting to you are fighting to keep control of the vest of it because you got some hits, and and this is some steep canyon wall, so it's very difficult. Fatima's gonna Jug. Your turn. What are you gonna do?
Do I get a bonus because of my gunnery skill?
No, you don't get a bonus. You'll get a what's your dex? Your dex a 10, right? I don't even know. I don't have it in front of me. Oh, I need to pull it up.
My dex is 9.
Okay, you get a +1 to that hit. You get a +1. But it's also difficult though too. So let's see what you roll. You're aiming at it. You maneuver it. Oh yeah! Did you hit Andrew?
I'm aiming at the guy I was trying to ram.
5, 6. And that's a hit. Andrew's in trouble. Andrew's in trouble. You guys have out-swift him at his own game, it looks like. And the roll, Andrew's crash. Poof! It looks like his vessel explodes, but really, technically, it lands. Andrew is out of the game.
So I'll just send a message. Good work, Red Baron.
Jug has got Andrew. Now, though, you guys are in it against each other. And Fatima's still in it. It's last man standing. You're playing a game of... And Rodrigo, you need to make a roll again to keep control of it because you've been hit twice. Oh, that's it. You crash into the wall.
Okay.
And it feels almost like you're going to die and you actually hit the wall, but then the screen goes red and the computer takes control of the... It's scary. It really is scary for visual effects. But the computer takes control of the biped plane and it lands next to Andrew. And you guys can take off and you're watching everybody. You can take off your goggles and watch the fight from the distance with binoculars. Gentlemen, that's the first time I've lost in years. I'll be damned.
I'll just walk over to him with a big smile. Well, my crew is well trained.
So you're both on the ground. Jug is still damaged.
Yeah, play some cribbage. We're still up here fighting.
Yeah.
Okay. So Jug is undamaged. Fatima's going to take a shot now. And 2d6 10. She hits. 1, 2 would be... Who's left? It's just Jug Skyson, and Fatima. Okay, 1, 2, 3 would be Skyson. 4, 5, 6 is Jug. We'll see. So that's a hit. Let's see.
Chug it is.
Been hit. She's hit you. Tolo, she's got a vendetta on you. So there's some control issues there. I need you to make a piloting roll to see if you can keep control of it. You've been hit. So there's bullet fire that's hit your Skyson's still standing. Oh, that's not going to cut it. You two have hit the wall. Boom! It's scary, and you have the same effect. You're out of it. It's just Skyson and Fatima added. They're the last two left.
Control to Snoopy. Take her out of the sky. Charlie Brown
okay,
Snoopy.
So Skyson, it's your turn. You get your +1.
All right, initiative. Well, no, I guess it's up to me to do it now. She was busy and occupied just a moment ago.
Yep.
It's difficult too. So she's gonna. You get to fire on her.
2d6 +1.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
But you're looking for a difficult target. Oh, that's a total miss. She's going to loop it around and fire it on you, and she hits. You haven't been damaged yet. You're going to need your, you're going to, at a 0, you need to see if you can keep control of it.
And that's still a pilot roll?
Control roll, yes. This would be a pilot roll, which I think you're at 0. You only get your... And
Snoopy, Merry Christmas, my friend.
And Fatima is the winner. Fatima comes down and she goes up and she gives her cousin Andrew a kiss on the cheek and hug. Well, my dear, I guess the jewels stay in the family today. Well, I guess they do, as he reaches over and hands her the gems. And then he says, well, gentlemen, enough with play. I hope you had fun. This is sport. This is what we do. This is nobility on our world. And it's called dogfighting, and we enjoy this sport. Real flight, simulated combat. The old style from the old world. So, and then he takes off the scarf and he says to you, we do have an issue. And he says, I have a very serious issue, and I would like your help if you're interested. We're talking about a job. We're talking about a bounty hunter type of job. And we're talking about good pay. He said, my crew, my newly found engineer and our crew, once we get her settled aboard the ship, we need to pursue. I'm going to change it. Steve, you're going to go up there and we're going to change it back to the other page. Now you all have a visual of them. So we're going to go back to the start page.
Oh, I'm sorry. Could I take a screenshot before you change the page? Can you change it back just for a blip here?
Oh, okay.
I should have screenshotted it. Sorry, let me just...
And if not, I can attach the document that'll show all that in the... You don't have the pictures. Let me see if I got the desktop.
You can... you can change it back now.
Okay. Oh, where is that?
Well, as my men come off the planes, I'll give them both a pat on the back. Well done.
Yeah, you guys did pretty good though, considering. So you had the simulated dogfight, but anyway, I have a document that shows all those pictures of them and their character traits. I can't find it right now unless it's in, but I can post that one to. I can post that one to the. Oh, this is a PDF. This guy's eye. Damn it.
That's okay. You can change it back to the main map.
Okay. Where is it now? Oh yeah, I know where it is. It's in documents. Okay, this guy's eye document. Okay. Hold on 1 second.
I've changed it.
Good deal.
Yeah.
All right, and we're going to get into documents. This guy's eye. I just had it in front of my eyes, and now I can't find it.
That's right. Just email it out to Pierre when you're ready.
Okay. God, is that ever the shit? Why isn't it right there? Anyway, I can't find it now. I just had it in front of me. Agweedo. Okay, there. Now I know why. There it is. I'm downloading the PDF that has all their information and pictures in the Weekend Warrior chat. I can't put it. I don't have that set up here. But so we're changed back to the player.
Yep, done that.
So he says to you very simply. He says this. Well, I hate to say this, but I was seduced by a woman, and she wasn't who she appeared to be. She introduced herself as Andrea Gilmore, the daughter of a very powerful CEO from a mega corporation more towards Metropolis. And she was gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. So I courted this relationship with her, and she kind of got close to the family. And sure enough, she robbed some of the king's jewels, primal jewels. She got one of the family stones and some of the other stones that are worth about 10 to 20 mega credits. If we can recover these stones and we get her alive, it's worth about 500,000 credits to the king. Half of that would be 250,000 if I help or assist her. We both do it. To potentially $1 million if we get both her and these gems, because they're precious family heirlooms. And we need to capture those. We need to get those if we possibly can. She goes by the name of Andrea Gilmore, but a little research has shown that that is not who she is at all. Am I going to get into that? Where am I? Okay. Her name is Petra Fontana. Petra Fontana, and she is a deceitful rogue criminal. Here's a picture of her that just popped up on the screen.
Oh no!
And that's
possibly be deceitful.
Yeah, that's who has taken the jewels, gentlemen. And we have word that she left on board a ship, taking passage.
Heading to where?
Just recent. That ship was chartered to go to Chokilat up the road, and it's a small merchant ship. I don't think she realized that we're onto her. She left. We got the camera footage, and you see the footage. You could barely. It's like dark glasses.
Yeah.
She's got the bandana over her head, and it's black. So we assumed that she went under another name. But the ship that she left on, which I will add to the handout right now. You just seen it enter. It's called the Raspy Critter. You can open it up on your sheet. And that's the ship that she left on.
How long ago did she leave?
And that's out to start their second jump. It's a jump one ship. We've just come up with this information as of yesterday. We need to leave by tomorrow, and we should if we need to gear up and leave by tomorrow. He says, I also have cargo for you, which will pay you. I will pay you 2,000 credit. I have 6 10-ton crates that I will pay you 2,000 per ton. So that's 120,000 credits. And I may have a couple passengers that would pay high passage just for the trip. So you'll still make money going to Chokilat. I don't know the dynamics of your ship, but it's obvious that you have capabilities of jump too, because you made it from Tazo to here in a week. So I have a jump 2 also, and I'm much faster and swifter than you, but I can cruise at 1G alongside you or with you. I would take my own ship and you would take your ship, and we would be working together, but also working independently at the same time to try to capture her. And we would also be going to Chocolat if you're interested in doing this. She says.
Okay, interesting.
She looks at you. All right, real fast. She looks at you and says, "I didn't say a word." She puts her finger up. He figured that out. He figured out that you're capable of jump 2 by the timing that you came. She's kept her word. She has not said anything about your ship, and she will keep her word. So she looks at you and gives you an eye gesture and like a finger by her lips, like a silence. Like,
yeah,
hey.
I'm about ready to give her a finger too, but I still don't believe her. Anyway, the way she just tossed me off in the morning, I'm not that warm to her anymore.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so. You can see she's all about herself because she's obviously, you don't have a job for her. She had fun with you, but see you now. I got a job, but I'm an engineer now on my own crew. So, but she's still cool with you and polite. I mean, she doesn't want any hard feelings.
Yeah. Well, I do want hard feelings as the captain in a very specific part of my body. But anyway, that's not going to happen for a wee while. So.
I think he's going to tighten somebody else's lug nuts now.
Yeah. Very much so. Very much so. I'll just regroup gather the group and just because this apparently is what he does. He asks us first, so we all have heard, and I'll relay that to Stoney. What the deal is, and I just want to hear back from the group what they think. If we don't get to recover anything, we've made money getting to this Chocolat place.
You got 6 crates at usually cargo's 2,000 a crate. He's going to give 1,000.
Yeah, exactly.
A ton, regular.
Yeah.
So you're getting 2,000.
Yep.
That's 120,000 credits.
Yeah, I'm just pointing out to the group that should we fail at the job, we've at least made payment for the trip. So what does the group feel?
Sounds good.
Okay.
I would check those cargo crates though.
I'm making sure that you do. You've got to do.
Verbal says that. Skyson says,
Yep.
He's neutral if there's nothing in particular to shoot.
Yeah. So. Well, he's going to have some people to take care of, so that'll keep him busy. We just got to break the news to Stoney. Who's not that very happy with it. He smacks too much of something going on that he can't see. But he's only the engineer. What does he know? He just knows how to fix the ship. Okay. We'll take the job.
Sounds good. We'll have to leave in the morning, gentlemen. I'll have the cargo loaded, and I believe I have 3 passengers at high passage. So that'll be 150,000 credits worth of payment.
That sounds excellent.
So there's a scientist named Isaac and 2 assistants that need high passage that are working on some experiments. And you also have, remember, you're running unrefined fuel because that's all that's available here. You're on Buick. It's a Class C starport. And the crates will be loaded. So the next day, we'll say a day of rest comes and you guys are going to be loading up and preparing to go and preparing your course. He wants to leave right away in the morning so there's enough time to make it to Chocolat and get the ship before it comes. The ship he shows you is flown by Captain. Let me see.
Well, if they're one jump, I'm assuming they're going to go through Neelam up to Chocolat.
Yeah, but this is Captain Scott Jones, is the pilot of the Raspy Critter, and we don't know.
Gentlemen. Very trustworthy looking.
We don't know much about him. What we do know is that he's a businessman. He's a merchant. His ship is old. The Raspy Critter is an older version. It's very old. It was probably salvaged and refurbished with new drives. So, he may have a small payment, and he's revamped an older ship, which is what he's in charge of and his crew, which you can see everything about the ship.
Yeah.
Now that it's shared. so you can see that everything about it, what it is. If you're looking at the notes,
No.
Yeah.
the handouts.
Well, I don't know. I'm only going to go by what the guy tells me he knows, because I don't want to have forewarned knowledge stuff.
So,
when I have trouble with it. Yep.
Go ahead.
No, sorry. No, you go. You go.
I thought Jug said something.
Oh, sorry. Agweedo.
No, I didn't see anything.
Okay.
Okay. So that's where you're at. So you'll have to set the. You're going from Buick to Chocolate. Basically, it's believed he didn't even stop, so he should be about entering his second jump now, just a while before you took off. But your chances are, the only bad thing about it is, it would have been good to take off sooner, as you would have maybe approached him when he got at a jump, but now he'll already have time to land. But you believe that you can catch her at the port if you get going soon enough. You got to get to the jump point and everything. Anybody checking the crates? There's not a lot of time to check the crates. You're loaded up. You're full of life support.
Yeah. I gave Verbal that job yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I got Nav 1, so I'll probably be involved in navigation too. Do I have time to...
Okay, well, I'll give it to Jug and Skyson, since they're doing not that much right now while we're still on the ground.
Right.
Okay. So you're going to check it out. What it turns out to be, you open up one of the crates. It's they're 10-ton crates, and what they are is special aircraft in each crate. They're like a special, like, hovered jet type of craft. The wings are folded up and disassembled to fit in the crate, but they're easy to assemble once the crates are open and delivered. So your cargo bay is pretty much full, minus 4 tons. You have, because you've got the 6 crates of these aircrafts on board the vessel, which he's paying you for.
Yep.
And the scientist named Isaac and his 2 assistants, which are 2 other young and kind of geeky guys.
So
the high passengers.
Only thing I want Jug and Skyson to check for is that we're not actually transporting any weapons on those ships, on those aircraft.
Okay,
because that would contravene the law, wouldn't it? Jug?
Yeah.
Oh. Because otherwise we'd become weapon runners, and that's, as far as I know, illegal.
Yeah, like he's supporting some sort of revolution with these big giant...
Well, who knows? But I mean, the thing is, we've got to keep ourselves safe, don't we?
Yeah.
Okay, so Jug, you don't find any evidence of it. What about Skyson?
What am I rolling?
Just, I think, 2d6, just to try to see if you can see anything that's untoward.
Searching untoward stuff.
Yes. For untoward stuff. Nope. Okay, righty. Oh, we seem to be pretty okay, so let's lock and load and let's go.
Yeah, I mean, they obviously don't check it out very thoroughly, but they look just like aircrafts from everything you could tell.
Yeah, well, I'll just have to go on their evaluation, because I'm up in the cockpit prepping everything along with Verbal.
Yep, so you're going to take off, and you're going to meet... you're looking to meet this Scott Jones, Captain Scott Jones of the Raspy Critter. And he's the guy he's taken on... What you do find out, what he does know, is she went on even another name, Jane Schmidt. And she went on with the story of a widow, Jane Schmidt. So she went, I mean, her real name, which you know now, which he discovered, and they know for a fact that she's headed to Chocolate.
Yeah. That's so cool. That's so cool. Okay, righto, gentlemen. Let's get airborne, shall we? So you need a piloting roll.
You need a piloting roll.
Okay.
Space.
The final
Space 7 is a base.
Okay.
You're +2, dude.
Oh, am I? Oh,
you're
well.
+2.
Okay, that's
so that's
an 8 then. Cool.
So that's a basic takeoff. Engineering check by Stoney would be good.
He's 3, I think. God, hang on.
Oh, he's a +2, I think.
He's 2. Chicka-ching.
Okay, and engines check out good.
Yeah.
It's going alongside you is the Sky's Eye.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "Oh, well, keep her, gentlemen." He says, "I'm cruising low. I'm at 1G just along you, even though I can stomp it up 4 times as fast." And he's kind of like making a sarcastic joke. His ship is just beautiful. It's gorgeous. It's like a dream ship,
beauty
man,
is
for a
in the
yacht.
eye of the beholder. He don't have the range.
So you're headed off into that direction.
I would, if he could produce twice the amount of joules, I'd go for a race for something like about 6 jumps away. Then we'll see who's got the better ship. But I'm not going to tell him that. Okay, well, I guess we just, unless we've got verbal, give us a report on sensors, and then if we're clear, let's get to 100 diameters and jump.
Yeah, okay, very good. So, whoops, where was I at here? Okay.
So you got the interior of the ship in front of you now. If you scroll up and down, you can change Steve, or you can change your icon.
I got nothing.
You got to change it yourself.
Oh, I've got to go over to the ship deck. Sorry.
Change it yourself. That's why I'm just telling you to change it.
Yeah.
So they have the ship in front of you. Everybody's at to where they're at. You scroll up and you have all 3 decks. The 2 decks on top are the ones that matter the most. Yeah. The engineering, these sections. This is the inside of the Venusian Wind.
Yeah, well, that's easy. Stoney's in the back, and the engineering section. He doesn't go pretty much anywhere else while it's
Imagine that you have Captain Rodrigo is here, and Verbal is here, and then the gunnery turrets would be Jug and Skyson.
And the Cowboy would be somewhere in here, taking care of his
passengers. He still has his stateroom up here, and he's got one of the staterooms up above, and then the 3 passengers.
Yep.
So that's
all of us accounted for. Cool.
Accounted for, the crew is accounted for.
Sorry?
Plus at 10,000 each. So you're looking at 150,000 on this jump. But now you have to make a jump roll plus 2. 2D plus 2.
Yep.
Skyson rolled on the sensors. Sensors are good. Oh, good. Yeah.
Oh, it would have been Verbal. Sorry, I didn't change the name from Skyson to Verbal.
That's okay. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah. So that jump is successful, even with the negative modifiers. You are in a stretch jump 1, 2 parsec jump 1, and he's jumped also. So you have a week to think about it. You're on board your ship, and it's going to be about a week before you come out. You're reviewing the information.
Yep.
Huh?
We'll review the information, and then we'll make up a plan B if this all turns to go to custard, because we've not been given every piece of information. And we're left to be the patsy. What is our plan B, gentlemen? But we'll listen to all your information about what we do know first.
Okay, well, what you do know is everything seems to be credible. This Sir Andrew Bauer, he's the real deal.
Yeah,
his ship...
Sorry, I mean, with the information we have about where we're heading, the lay of the land there, and all that stuff that he might have given us intel on, so we can prepare for that. Sorry, that's what I meant. Sorry.
Okay, we can give you that in a minute here.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and then we'll create a plan B in case something happens that we need to extricate ourselves out with minimum damage.
Well, you're checking over the information. Here's Chocolat.
Cool.
Chocolat, which is just dropped in front of you.
That's great. Snowing on the weekends, suntan on the week.
It's a very cold world. Let me get my world profile in front of me.
Quite a barren world by the looks of it. No water. Yay.
It's not a barren world.
Oh,
we'll go through the stats on you. Of course, it's a Class C starport. It's a large world, so the gravity's heavier.
Yeah.
It's 10,000 miles in diameter, which means it's going to be a heavy, more draining world. You're all going to suffer a -1 strength DM. It won't take away your points, but when it comes to combat, and you're also going to fatigue easier because you're used to 1G or under. That's more standard normal for you. So it's a large world. It has an exotic atmosphere, which it's like a standard dense, but it's mostly carbon dioxide, and it's mostly oxygen in the atmosphere as a whole. It's mostly like carbon dioxide thick. That's the primal ingredient. And then argon and nitrogen are also mixed in with that blend.
So we need to have respirators or vac suits to survive in that?
You need oxygen tanks or vac suits, or else you would need a special kind of respirator that turns CO2 into oxygen.
Okay.
If those are available. Otherwise, you have to have oxygen tanks, and the temperature would be, it's like our below 0 Fahrenheit, so it would be...
Okay, vac suit time, boys.
Probably be like your 10 to 50 below Celsius.
Yep.
Negative Celsius. It's cold.
Yep.
It's dramatically cold, and it's around 0 Celsius at the equator at the port city, which the port city would be about in the middle of the area.
Yep.
And there's mountains and canyons, and it's like a Mars type of world on a lot of levels, but of course it has a thick atmosphere.
And
what do you know about it?
Pretty heavy ice sheets on the North and South Pole.
60% ice sheets at both the poles, which are actual ice. So it did have hydrographics. At one time, there's a lot of canyons that run along too, which was believed to have been riverbeds at one time before the star weakened. It's a small red dwarf star, and the orbit is kind of close. There are no gas giants. There's a couple. There's a belt in the outer system. There's hundreds of inhabitants. There's a port town where most of the people stay at, and then there's some scattered ranches that are out. Some in the mountains, which would be in this range, and then there's one down in this range near a crevice.
So do we know
and the port town would be kind of in the middle.
Do we know what they produce, these ranches?
They basically live off the land, and they produce from the elements, like battery components or like petrochemicals.
So these farms are more mining.
Well, they have, but they're also they're treated as ranches because they're small and they're family owned. Okay. So the petrochemicals that they produce, they sell individually, and it's there also is about 4 or 5 manned. They have their own protective Air Force service, Chocolat, which falls under the Navy, but it's their own, and I think it's about 5 fighters, which are flying and patrolling around the planet at all times. The law level is obviously, it's a participating democracy, so they have a president and a vice president, and which is more like on the level of a mayor, because it's more like a small town. There's not a lot of people here. There's just under 1,000 as a whole.
Yeah,
probably 800 to 900 total. Like maybe most of that population is in the port city area, the port town, where ships land and traverse. But the thing that is of value, these aircraft are of value to them because they are at a technology level 8, and everything kind of flies through these hover type of aircraft. They're made to run. They also run on the jet fuel, so some of the petrochemicals that they produce are of high value, especially on some of the other worlds nearby. But anyway, we'll go into that a little more. The law level is low. You can pretty much carry anything except highly explosives and portable energy weapons. You can carry pretty much any type of guns, military nature. But the laser weapons are out. But out in the wilds, it'd be pretty easy to sneak them in.
It says law level 0. Am I reading that wrong?
You're right. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
You're right. I'm sorry. I'm wrong. You're right. There is no law level. You can carry whatever the hell you want.
Wild West.
It's Texas.
Yeah, you're right. I read. You can carry your laser weapons. You can carry whatever you want.
Okay. Now, just making sure I didn't misunderstand.
Frozen, tiresome version of Texas.
Yeah. Well, hey.
Yeah. So this is where you're headed.
Yep.
This is where you'll be arriving in another couple weeks, but you'll have to see what's going on.
So we're going to have a downport. Gentlemen, we're going to be wearing vac suits before we come out of jump, just in case. And probably vac suits all the way in. What do we know? So small population, private Navy, Air Force, whatever you want to call them. And these aircraft are just atmospheric, aren't they? They don't go into low orbit or anything.
That patrol are actual fighters. and they have both pulse lasers and missile racks installed on them, and one pilot each. There's 5 to 10 of those. You don't know how many, but you know that they do have a small security patrol of fighters, which are flying around, at least a couple on patrol, and they're ready to be called. If there's any riffraff on the planet,
so
they're ready to take it out.
Does Jug or Skyson have any experience with aircraft or fighters?
Yes,
atmospheric craft, aircraft, or whatever the skill is there,
or a little pilot skill, perhaps.
I'm not showing anything.
I have a grav vehicle and ATV, so probably not.
Okay, so well, just open one of those crates. Just while we're in jump for a week, and see if you can get yourself familiar enough with one of those things. Should I ask you to get in one of those things if we need extra support?
Okay. I will.
This sounds like that horrible movie Battlefield Earth, where those primitive human guys just study an old rusted jet and immediately become,
exactly.
Top Guns.
If it's good enough for the movies, it's good enough for us, I say. But just think, if anyone's got any familiarity, I know, like...
who's doing
Stoney's got Pilot 1. So probably anyone who's got any vehicle skill, gravitics, shipboat pilot, air raft, anyone who's got anything like that, or actual atmospheric craft skill.
Okay.
Just want
I'm going to need you to give me an intelligence roll, each of you, to see how over the week you're reviewing it, and then I'll tell you what level we're going to give you at, because it is similar to an air raft. Anyone with air raft or piloting skill or grab vehicle, whose role is that?
That's Rodrigo himself, because he's got pilot.
Rodrigo failed, which means that his role, instead of getting the +1 at -1, he's going to get it at 0. Now Stoney can do it too. Stoney also failed, so instead of getting it at you're automatically going to get it at -1, your skill. You'd get it at a -1.
Oh,
Stoney's at you're not at a 0. You're at a -1 because you failed that roll. To make that roll, we'll give you 1 less of your skill.
That's so cool.
So you're at a -1. Calmeros is at a 0 instead of a 1. If you would have made that roll, he'd be at a 1. And Cowboy, does Cowboy have any skills? No. Cowboy has AirRAF 1. So I'm going to roll for Cowboy now. What's his intelligence? Did you add your intelligence modifier?
No. I don't.
Where's Cowboy? Cowboy's got an intelligence of 10, so he gets a +1 to this roll, 8 or higher. And he has AirRAF 0, AirRAF 1, so Cowboy's dead in the water too. He's at a -1.
Well,
he can use it, but he's at a -1 for all basic rolls.
So cool. And I think
point of order, I think Verbal has vehicle grab 1 too.
Cool. Get up there, Verbal. And
let's do intelligence.
There's no plus from the intelligence according to this.
So then it's a straight roll then.
Yeah. And what is the roll?
2d6.
2d6.
So, oh right, Verbal.
Not quite Top Gun. Middle gun.
What'd you roll?
No.
A 6.
So you're all kind of falling behind. But the other thing is too, though, you can take your air raft, and I'm going to you research this a little bit more. If you have to do any flying around on the planet, that's another thing that.
Yeah, no. My sorry. The captain's thinking is more about if we suddenly become a target to all these little fighters. I'm going to open the bay and expel some fighters to fight them.
Okay.
With people who aren't on the gun.
Oh, okay, that way.
Yeah, if I have to.
Way.
I just want to see what we could do with what we got. So we not going to do too well, but if we need to use it, we can. Okay, then we'll pack them all up after that. And does Verbal have any more information on the planet in any databases or anything?
You mean like to do sensors?
Okay, one of the informations. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, should I be doing sensor, or should Verbal be doing sensors?
When we get
Library
out,
data, you're still in jump.
I just thought if he's got anything in the database, anything interesting about Chocolate.
Oh, okay, so just yeah, okay. Should I make a computer roll? Or not?
Yeah, okay.
Make a computer roll. Fine.
Yeah, sorry if I'm don't have to reduce everything into a roll, but we'll see.
Guess not.
Yeah.
That's all cool.
No, you can't. The data's scratchy, but the one thing that is they are serious about is they don't like ships landing everywhere on their planet. If you do not have a code or you're not a local or a permit, most ships land and take off the ranches. But you cannot, unless you have a special permit or special, which has to be administered by the government.
Mm-hmm.
You are not allowed anywhere with a ship but to land in Port City.
That's good to know.
You can travel air raft or aircraft anywhere you want, but starships, and they also, of course, they don't want you vaping the ice, which for fuel, they would rather have you, of course, buy their unrefined fuel too. So that's another thing, unless you have the permit. People that do business with the ranchers, they're called ranchers, but they're really petrochemical stations.
Money might be a problem for us, so I'll have to go out with a little ice scraper and scrape some ice for our fuel, a few dozen tons of it. Sure.
Well, they're always about, and they're also about renting out aircraft or vehicles, so they're about business. If you're going to land here, there are some pretty unique sites, but it is a dry, barren, frozen world that's with an unbreathable atmosphere. The pressure and sound carry normal, but you would either be in a vac suit or oxygen tanks with hot, heavy-duty warm clothing, or you're toast. I mean, you'll freeze quick out there.
They're trying to protect a resource world with only a few hundred people. I don't see how that's possible, even with this gear, even with the jets.
Well, they might have some other sort of station, satellite system up.
I think they're going to be subjugated easily by somebody else. Anybody who comes here
who's got
enough of a fleet.
6 ships plus a starship.
Yeah.
Take over the planet. No, we're not going to. Okay, so anyone else got any ideas about trying to prepare a plan B for just in case? And then we'll talk about where we think she might be and Well, Stoney would suggest that we nuke it from orbit because that's the only way to be sure. We ignore that one.
Well,
so
I don't see how we can fly these jet toys. We might as well keep them in their little bubble packaging and deliver them as expected.
Yes, but 5 to 10 of those little bubble package things might be attacking us if we get there and something bad happens. But anyway. Okay, suppositions about where she might be if we don't catch her before she disembarks the scratchy rat hole, whatever it's called.
That you'll find out once you get there. You don't have any idea. You just know that ship's going there and she's going there. And you know that she's going under the maiden name of Jane Schmidt now, a different name. She was High Society Andrea Gilmore. Now she's Jane Schmidt.
Plain Jane.
Jane Schmidt with the widow. Husband died, and sad story, and dark glasses and a bandana on her head, trying to look, not sexy, but plain Jane. Literally. Very deceitful woman.
Her husband died from choking on a dagger that was on the outside of his throat, maybe.
Yeah. Strange how that happens, but or accidentally falling from the height of a tall building.
The coroner was puzzled. It was a strange psychology issue.
Yeah, like a hole through his throat, or several in his head. So she's probably going to be in one of several places. Either she's going to be at the starport, or she's going to be having some sort of contact at a ranch. Starport, easy, because we'll have access. Ranches, harder, because you've got to go through some bureaucratic tape to get there.
Well, if we get to the planet, Verbal is probably going to sense the whole planet from orbit, and because their rust. What was the ship called again? The rust bucket? No, sorry, the raspy critter. That's going to stand out. Critter. I was going to say rust bucket.
Raspy critter.
Rust bucket.
The raspy critter, man. That name came to me. I liked it.
That's cool. So when we get into in system, apart from our normal automatic stuff we do every time we jump into system, The captain is going to send off a signal saying what paperwork do we need to complete so that we can, if we need to move to a ranch with our ship, our major ship, what paperwork is there needed to be completed for that to be legal and above board.
Well, you won't be able to do that until you...
I know, but this is the plan, so I'm just trying to get everything ready so we can just quickly go 1, 2, 3 sort of thing.
All right, give me 30 seconds, guys.
Yeah.
Oh.
Jug, you've been very quiet. Have you got any ideas you want to put forward before we get in there?
Not specifically. I'm just kind of interested in seeing where this goes.
Okay, radio. I just like to play a bit of a what-if game to get prepared.
Yeah, I thought the jets would be the cargo that we're carrying as aircraft would probably explode into a riot of clown car occupants, and there's 50 per jet or something. And so of course Verbal is paranoid, but he really screwed up at trying to sense these things with his hand sensors or whatever.
That's all right.
What a scratch that was.
It's okay. Any other ideas about what we could do to be better prepared?
All right.
And
I doubt that they can hide anywhere. They'll stick out
under rocks.
Low pop.
Low criminals usually hide well under rocks. So that's how we're going to take over the planet, guys. So we'll tell Jerry when he gets back.
I'm back. You're not taking over nothing. All right. All right, you're gearing up to come out of jump. The week's passed by pretty uneventful. You reviewed everything. You're going over everything. You're thinking about different things. And you come out of jump.
Great. Okay, Verbal.
Everybody positioned? Did you depressurize? What are you doing?
Yep, everyone's in a vac suit. The ship depressurizes. My gunner is on the gunner seat, ready to pull the triggers. Verbal is
rather than try to convert
even your passengers and in the passenger suite. Did you keep pressure there, or?
No, I'm going to vacuum. Yes, we did.
Keep the pressure in there, and you'll stay up there and act like nothing else is wrong. And if there's an emergency, then you'll depressurize that compartment.
I mean Cowboy, but Stoney was considering depressurizing Cowboy.
He's always doing that.
Oh,
hey! I mean depressurizing Cowboy, as in the airlock.
Before going into out of jump, yes. You might hear me with a slight delay, but there we go. Before going out of jump, in the week we were in jump, we want to try to scope out the 3 passengers as well. Passengers are always a potential trouble source too.
Yep.
But it was a professor and 2 assistants,
yes,
wimpy, unathletic graduate students, I hope.
They're basically scientist type of people. One's name is Maria Zhang. She's a young woman, kind of attractive, and she's with other guy's name is Bartholomew Abe, and he's also an assistant. They're kind of like white coat doctor type, scientist type. They're studying. They're busy looking over data. I can't if I can find this guy's name. I believe his name is Isaac.
Yep. Professor Isaac is what you said.
Yep. That's so cool.
Okay.
Well, we'll let Cowboy earn his money by him scoping them as much as possible. And like he says to Stoney, don't sweat it if they sort of turn on him. Don't sweat it, Cowboy.
Well, a good steward, of course, packs some heat and
Isaac Colombo is his name.
Okay, Isaac Colombo, Professor Colombo.
And he's Computer 2, Dagger 1, Gravitex 2, Jack OT 2, Leader 1, Mechanic 1, Electronics 1, Medic 1, Navigation 1. He has Shotgun 2, Survival 1. He's a well-rounded scientist. He's been well at it for a while. One of the things you do notice, you haven't talked to him in detail, but he's talking about anomalies and over the time of the week and quantum physics. So he's definitely, he says he was working with someone, and he's definitely interested in getting on over to Metropolis for some reason eventually, but he needs to stop and do some business on Chokilat first. Right. And he'll probably change passages with another ship there that he's going to meet later. So that's what you do know about them. They're pretty uneventful. Pretty much, according to Cowboy's been taking care of the steward duties. They've been no issues at all. They've been pretty good, straight up decent passengers.
So
there's been no problem.
Probably put them all when we come out of jump. Because do we have enough vac suits for them to wear? I don't, because we don't have them in the ship's locker, although they come with their own vac suit.
We had a pretty well-equipped ship's locker, or was that the other game, the other campaign?
Other campaign might be.
What does the Venusian Wind document say?
It's on there if it is, but I was gonna just say to you, there are these emergency bubbles. They look like a beach ball that you can blow up and climb into, but you don't want to put them through that unless the alarms really go off, like you're in trouble.
But what I want to do is put them in one space with these 3 bubbles. Yeah. So I'm gonna get who's the face? Sorry, I've forgotten his name for a second. The steward. God Almighty, I can't remember. Cowboy, thank you. Put them all in there, in the galley, for now, with the bubbles, because it's just one space. We don't have to run around trying to get them out of 3 different spaces. If they get nervous, they can eat something. Yeah. Just leave them there for now.
I'm back to come out, eh? You're right, geared. You're ready.
Mm-hmm. And so everything else apart from the galley will be depressurized on that level.
Okay, everything's depressurized except the main passenger galley.
Yep.
That you're looking at.
Yep, that top bit. Yep. Boom, 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 boom,
yeah.
Up there.
So everything. Oh, but this galley, they're all in the galley right here.
Yep.
Okay, everything else is depressurized.
Yep. Cowboys
so that's sealed. The chances of that one area getting hit are 0 to nothing. So you want them all to kind of hang out in the galley. Yep. Instead of keeping them in the lounge where they might be comfortable.
Yeah, but it's bigger.
So that's what you ordered to do, and that's what he says. He says, just for safekeeping, in case there's, he says this is just a security measure, and he does something to kind of entertain them and keep them amused in the galley. He's putting his best steward skills forward.
Right. Teaching me to
jump
make
bubble
or something.
You are now in regular space in the Chocolat system.
Okay, sensor suite, please.
Yeah. So 2d6 plus
actually, I think you get a +1 because you got advanced sensors now, so that would be a +3 to your roll.
Yes.
You got great, and you still
crapulence today.
Still staticky.
Wow, hang on, I'll just look out the window and see what I can see. 'Cause that might be better.
I put my hand out the window and lick my finger to see which way the prevailing wind is coming from.
Yeah, that might be better. I'll try.
Hole I made.
Where's Jug at?
I'll try. I don't get a bonus because I've only got electronic 1, but I'm doing piloting and electronic at the same time. So I'm just going to see if I can do something with the sensors. Closer, but not enough. Okay. Radio, I'll just put an alert on the ship. We're not reading very well up here. Something seems to have happened to the cockpit. I don't know. Our eyes might have fallen out. Keep your eyes open.
Pretty clear. What you do pick up next to you, though, is another ship comes out of jump.
Mm-hmm.
And it's this guy's eye. He's alongside you. So, hello, mateys. How we doing today, gentlemen? You hear over the comms.
I'll just reply that the Venusian Wind is full and intact.
And then he goes... And then he goes, God, that Chloe Lee's just amazing. She polished these drives like a dream. He says
and Captain Rodriguez says, yes, she's very good at polishing, isn't she? Every nut in the place will be well polished.
Polishing is right. Did I hear that right?
Yeah. Yeah. As we're going in, I'll ask Verbal to get another sensor suite. We've got the other ship to help us, but also I want to, on a type beam, I want to send that request for what do I need to fill out, what do I need to pay to get permission if I need to land on a ranch when I get to the planet. And
those permits have to be filled out in person, and there's nothing you can do right now. You're an outsider. The lanes are clear to come down to Port City.
Then we will approach.
So follow this. They give you the coordinations. Do follow and stay in this. We take our planetary security pretty serious. Do follow the course, and you can make trade. And we have some basic facilities, some hotels, and all of the sorts at Port City, Chocolat.
There's probably a board. There's probably a board radio operator called Trixie saying, sorry.
She also runs the Lonely Nights radio station.
She pulls her gum out of the mouth and says, "Oh, it's you, Sir Bauer. Okay, go ahead and land. You know where it is."
No, there's no Trixie.
Okay, we'll just follow through down to the gravity well. And Verbal, if you can give me a sense of tell me what's
I'm having Verbal's having very bad luck with the sensors on the first go. What about now? Now that
you're about 50. You're about 50 diameters in now, and the Sky's Eye's cruising right along at the same velocity, same speed as you. So the sensors, that's a +3, so you're at 8. It's static free. There's nothing. You do pick up a couple fighters that are orbiting that seem to hesitant and they're watching you guys come on in, but they're of no concern. They're not like in combat situations or pursuing you. They're in various orbits, but it's like they're definitely watching you.
Okay, I'll order Skyson and Jug to put in some simulations of taking out fighters, just in case we need to know this. Practice on the way in.
Jug is always simulations in his.
Yep, good.
Jug is always doing simulations in his cockpit, his turret.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I would be too. Yeah.
Okay, so we're coming on.
Yeah, what worries me though is that Jug is muttering things like, "The day of judgment is at hand. We shall polish all the cylinders and we shall overcome on that great day."
That's great. I call that enthusiasm, and I encourage that in my team members.
Okay. So the ship will be landing.
Verbal is the medic as far as it goes, and so he has to occupy himself with the physical and mental health of all the crew.
Well, he's going to be in big trouble when he gets to some of us. Okay.
So,
piloting roll.
Piloting roll. Go for it.
Plus
2D plus 2.
Nicely done.
No issues. Smooth sailing. You follow the course that the coordinates they directed you to, and so does the Sky's Eye. And the Sky's Eye drops behind you and lets you take the lead on in. You're given coordinates to ports 11 and 12. There are several bays, and what it is they're just flat open ports.
Yeah.
On the surface, so the ships are just basically like on a flat ground on the surface where you would land. But what it is it's like on a plateau, and so you touch down with your pylons and everything, and then it's like up.
It's like what? Sorry.
Like a sort of like a door, like a door from the ground. The ground opens up, and this tube would come out and attach to your entryway, and you would have to walk down, and you're going to walk down under the ground.
Oh yeah.
And under the ground.
After getting the instruction, as we're coming down into the atmosphere, I just task Jug and Skyson, if they see the fighters and the fighters start to get a bit too close, they'll start to use us as target practice.
The fighters aren't even near you anymore. You follow the course.
I'm just saying if they do. He's just.
They're not even. They're still up in space. You're already in the atmosphere. They have no interest in you. You follow the course. You're not going somewhere off the line. They would only have. They don't want ships going anywhere that don't belong going anywhere.
So Verbal, I want you to give me as much as you can sweep sensor sweeps, please, so we can actually identify where these ranches might be if we need to get to any of them.
Planetary level sensing this time. I'm trying to map out the ranch or Rusty, Ratty.
Ready, scratchy, ready, something like that it was.
Raspy critter.
Raspy critter.
Raspy. Okay, raspy critter. Yeah.
The Raspy Critter's down there. It's at Dock 7. It's down.
Why am I getting the ship name so wrong? Anyway.
You actually see it landed.
Okay.
And it's docked.
Okay, it's there, but she might not.
So you would be.
I'd say that's all
okay.
Cool.
So that the Raspy critter is good. It's obviously down there, but I'm also going to censor planet level to try to pick up any other information and the ranches and things.
Damn.
Well, you can't pick up anything.
Good.
No, you can't pick up much more than the local information. There's a lot of storms and there's clouds and there's dust clouds and types of things. So basically, you just had your coordinates. You picked up everything on all the signals that deal with Port City, the port town. But beyond that, there's not much of anything, and that's primarily where the residents live, is in Port Town. Okay. So that's all you have information on at this point.
I'll put her down and wait for.
You are down. Your pylons are down. You landed fine. The tube that came out of the ground, the doorway out of the ground that connects to your hatch, has come up. You're connected. You can open your hatch and you can enter, and you'll go down sort of like a steep stairway, which will take you down into the interior of the starport. Most of this town, there's buildings that are that go outward, and like domes and stuff made out of the clay and whatever the components are of the planet. But a lot of it's underground because, of course, you want to be warm and you want pressure. Not pressure, but air, oxygen. The pressure's good.
Yep. So this time, Skyson's going to stay back with the ship because he also is good with the guns if we need it, and everyone else is going to come in.
Is Stoney staying with the ship too?
No, he's been told to get off the ship and come in. He's bringing his laser.
Skyson would be a little annoyed with that. He says, "What the hell am I got to stay here for?" Well, I would think Skyson would be. Cowboy's happy to go. Hey, Stoney! He starts messing with Stoney promptly.
That's exactly why I want them both to be here.
Yeah.
It's team building exercises.
I wonder what it's like on Toki-La.
Stoney mutters something about, "Why don't you hop outside and see? I'll hold on to your spacesuit for you."
You got to be nicer than that. I got an oxygen tank. You want to go for a stroll in the sand? He starts saying something smart.
No, but I can tell you where you can put those oxygen tanks.
On some fine young ladies back at that palace. Ooh, that was a good time, brother. That was a good time, he said.
You had to check with the doctor, haven't you?
Schmocked her. I'm all good. I'm better than ever I've been.
Yep, that's why I saw you itching the other day. That's perfectly fine. I'll go up to verbal. Can you inoculate yourself against sort of like, things one might find from another lady?
The only thing itching about me is my smile. My lips just keep on smiling.
Yep.
That's all. That's all he says, and then you guys enter on out.
Yep.
So Port 7 is where the Raspy Critter is.
So,
and there's also like there's a whole bunch of variety of areas. So now
how many pads are there in totality? Just so sort of get a grip of the size.
Let's see, you're at 11 and 10.
12.
You're at 11 and 12. He's at 7. I would say there's probably 25 to 30 different ports there. It's not big.
Yep, and
they're all anywhere from they're capable to maybe 1,000-ton platforms.
Roughly how many?
They're not.
Roughly how many?
Go ahead.
How many are full, roughly?
2/3 full.
Okay.
In various locations.
Yep.
Okay. At this point, a lot of them are traders. They're merchant ships coming on and off, dropping off goods, taking petrochemicals, supplies, different things like that.
So I suggest to the knight that his crew go clockwise and we'll go anti-clockwise, and should they chase her into our arms, that's all good.
Well, the first thing to do would probably be to talk to the Scott Jones, won't you think?
Well, that's what we're going to do. Since they're going to go around the long way, we're going to get there first. Because we're in 11. And we're going
actually, before you even think about going around, the first thing that he says, yeah, I see that ship's there. Why don't you guys work that? The first thing that Andrew does is he wants to get rid of the aircraft. So he's unloading the aircraft. I don't know. Where's Verbal? Are you there? Are you around?
Skyson will take care of it. Skyson will take care of that.
Skyson's still aboard ship. Verbal's out with the rest.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So Verbal's out with the rest of the crew. You guys are heading over to the bay then? 7?
Bay 7. We're doing
Raspy critter?
That creature. Going in an anti-clockwise direction around the base. So we'll get there. How easy is it to get into or onto the bay?
The bay is locked right now. The hatchway is locked, but you know that the ship is out there. There is a screen that shows you from the hallway, and the hatchway is closed. Oh, you could actually walk up the hatchway, but the lock is because the tunnel's open. But
yep,
the lock to the ship is
Yep, at the far end of the tunnel, because I won't presume to get up to his outside door and knock on the door, because that'd just be rude. So at the far end of the tunnel, hopefully there's some sort of communication device which I'll open up and ask to talk to the captain of the... Still can't remember it.
Raspy critter!
The something critter. Raspy critter. I'll ask to talk to the captain of the Raspy critter.
You end up getting this recorded. The captain is unavailable right now. The crew is out and about. Please leave a message. No one is aboard. The ship is it's obviously
right. I'll leave a message. And I'll just say my name, and I'm actually the captain of the Venusian Wind, and I heard that you, Captain, had a good working knowledge of this area, and since I'm new to it, I was hoping to pay you for some of your expertise. Thank you very much, and I'll be quickly looking at the directory and finding some drinking place hole to go to. Name that place.
Okay.
Then we will keep on. Okay, so I'll put Stoney on just hanging around and watching
the name of the place. The local bar is called the Sandy Oasis.
Okay, Sandy Oasis.
The Sandy Oasis is like one of the biggest bar, or the most common bar, Starport bar in the Starport town area there.
That's totally cool. So I'll put Stoney on watching this doorway, so to speak, so he can tell us if anything happens. The rest of us will go into. So how many does it leave us? Cowboy, Jug, Rebel, and the captain. Okay, 2 groups of 2. Yeah.
To the Sandy Oasis.
Yeah. So me and Jug, because Jug's got some pretty good shooting skills, I believe, in guns. Because I've only got shotgun 1. And blade 2. What have you got, Jug?
Auto pistol 2 and auto rifle 1.
Cool. Are you taking
carry both of those on you anywhere you want? Got them on your shoulder or whatever. I would imagine Rodrigo's got his.
I've got my shotgun and my blade.
Yeah.
But of course,
Judge will look at you
strength
and
is
say,
7.
Are you suggesting I carry a pistol?
No, I'm suggesting you carry your weapons, son.
2 auto pistols.
Carry a Y rack, like the 1970s record selector. You push the first weapon forward, the other weapons sort of progress until you stop it and pick what you want.
Awesome.
And Verbal, what do you have on you?
I do have some things. I have. First, auto rifle 1, pistol 1, but I do have no pistol, but an auto rifle with a scope.
Yeah, take that with you. And what about Cowboy?
You have an auto pistol. Cowboy, Cowboy he's got a laser carbine or an auto pistol.
Cool.
And a body pistol blade. And he's wearing his cloth and his reflect underneath that. I want to imagine you're all wearing that.
Well, if you've got it, wear it. Basically, looks like the captain's only got mesh armor, so he'll be wearing that. It's better than nothing. Stoney will be wearing his CBT armor.
You're not looking at the crew sheet. You have cloth and reflect also, Captain. You'd be wearing that. I think you all do. Yeah. If you scroll through all your equipment is.
Sorry. I've only printed off the character sheet thing. Sorry, that's what I'm reading.
Yeah, the character. Okay. I don't even play off of that. I always play off the sheet. So you have that stuff.
Okay.
And
so that's what we'll be wearing. Yep. Cool.
With them.
Yep.
He has 2 auto pistols, an auto rifle, and if he's got it, whatever appropriate armor.
Yep.
You've got the cloth armor and the reflect also. You guys would all be wearing that because you're more practical. You're out in the open. You're not going to be walking around in a combat armor in a regular starport. I mean, there's no...
Is that an option?
Except for Stoney, who's acting like a guard on that door, who's in his combat armor with reflect underneath.
Okay. Well, you can wear your combat armor if you want to, but there's no real need to. At least you're going to be odd. You'll be kind of odd if you're wearing it. But Stoney's wearing his, and he's at the door of the raspy critter.
That's what I tried to avoid saying, the crispy critter.
Crispy raspy critter.
Yes. Okay, so basically myself and Jug will enter the drinking establishment first, have a quick scan. If there's like more than one entry to like 2 doors or something, the other 2 do have their quick scan. Will be in little earplug thing, radio contact. If we sight her, we'll just give the location.
You walk out in and you look at the bar and boom, there he is. He's sitting there. And he seems to be having some kind of debate with another captain or another guy that's sitting next to him.
Also,
they're arguing, but yet it's a friendly kind of arguing.
Right. So we're also looking at...
they were wrong about this, and he's got a drink in front of him. He looks like he's had a few drinks.
I've also
not drunk,
looking
not
for
sober either.
Miss Schmidt or Mrs. Schmidt. Everyone keep your eye open for her too, somewhere in here.
You don't see any sign of a woman near them that resembles the Widow Schmidt or any appearance that looks like Fatima.
Jug and I will approach the captain, and I'll just quickly tell Verbal and Cowboy to schmooze their way around the drinking establishment, just trying to see if they can sight her anywhere before settling down somewhere close by.
So Cowboy goes off and he's looking around. The bar is it's pretty busy.
Yep.
It seems like there's a lot of, and mostly it's a lot of people unwinding from different various starships because you are at the port town.
Yep.
And people that are coming and going. But so far, Cowboy thinks he sees a woman, but he gets closer and realizes that she is absolutely not.
Okay.
Who he thinks she is, and
so,
there's no real signs of Jane Schmidt, Fatima, or what? Yeah, is that her name? Fatima.
Jane Schmidt.
Petra Fatima. Yeah, this is her real name. No signs of Petra anywhere.
Petra, right? Okay. So we'll approach the captain to the bar. I'm going to listen just for a few seconds, just to hear what the argument might be about first before interjecting. What do I pick up in the few seconds that I'm listening?
It's mostly about trade and some BS with the coalition and how the coalition is stomping on some of their rights to be free traders. It's stuff you'd almost agree with in some levels. Okay. It's political, but it's more of a trader perspective, being a free trader and being independent. And
so I'll sort of interrupt the discussion and just excuse myself, saying I'm looking for the captain of the Raspy Critter.
Raspy Critter. He said, and then he turns around and looks at you and says, "And what might this be pertaining to?"
Would you be the captain? I mean, knowing full well that he is.
might this? He looks irritated. What might this be pertaining to?
Well, I am a captain of another ship, and I need to know if I'm talking to the captain of the Raspberry Critter.
Yes, you are talking to the captain.
Rightio.
My name is Scott Jones.
I hold my hand and shake his hand and introduce myself, Calmaras Rodrigo of the Venusian Wind. Lately of the Agweedo sector, subsector, now into the...
Your hand. He says, Captain Scott Jones of the Raspy Critter, and we're out here on a bound. We've taken a load and some cargo and some passage, and
good.
We're going to be moving on here soon. Picking up.
Hopefully not too soon. I've been directed through other intermediary friends that you are quite knowledgeable about this subsector.
Well, I've been zooming around Agweedo and Gardena for quite a while.
Awesome.
Yes.
Well, make it worth your while if you could give me a few little hints. This, as I said, my ship and my crew are pretty much new to this subsector, so I just thought I'd try to find someone who has some sort of good knowledge about the area. So I'm going to try to schmooze my way and order some drinks for him and whoever he was talking to, and see if he's willing to sort of just start talking with me.
About various trade and about the Gardena Noble Alliance and the nobility. Yeah, so you don't know where the heck right now Sir Andrew is off dealing with selling those aircraft, and he's counting on you to do what you're doing now, and he's going to get back to you.
Yep. So I try to
also
turn... Oh, you go.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I try to turn the talk to, once he does start talking about not anything specific, I sort of start trying to turn it towards more passenger stuff. So like, so although my ship, and it sounds like your ship, might be also capable of cargo and passengers, which do you think is the more lucrative trade here in the subsector, cargo or passengers?
Oh, cargo, of course. If you buy the right things for the right price and sell them at the right place for the right price, there's always more money in cargo. Okay. But passage keeps it interesting. You always meet interesting characters, from the sad, lonely widow to the thriving playboy. The passengers keep it right. Lively. Okay, make the journey interesting, which you would know yourself, being a
we do, but I don't tend to deal with them. I've got a steward to do that. But Playboy, you say, is he traveling on with you to some other destination, or could I possibly have
that was just hypothetical. All my passengers have exited. They're all here now. I have to book new passage.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I am, and I've got to do some more speculating and make sure I sold my cargo and my passage. So yeah, I have no one moving on, and we're trying to figure out where we're going next.
Okay.
But they say though that these petrochemicals sell well.
I imagine they would, if you can get hold of them. I've been told that the families sell them. So would that mean I'd have to talk one-on-one with the families?
Well, you can buy some here, or you can check with the families. But usually, all the families do have facilities here, but their mining leases are out. But supposedly, Glockit, 2 parsecs away, which is a rock world that produces high technological items, these petrochemicals go for a high dollar there.
Good to know. Thank you.
And that's probably where I may be heading next.
Okay.
But right now, it's time for a drink, my lad.
Oh, well, rightio. I'll order some more drinks onto the table, a little bit of food, not much, but just some, I'll ply him with some more alcohol, if that's what he wants. And just do some general talking. Says, yes, I do understand. We've had some very interesting, from scientists to all sorts of passengers. But I imagine the widow, or this hypothetical widow, would have been, shall we say, interesting. I do remember of late I had an interesting passage with a single female myself, and it was very lucrative, you could say. I don't know if you do that on your ship, but...
By the fact, yes, the widow. Yeah, she was an odd woman. I had a woman on board my ship.
Yeah.
Most
women
Jane
are odd.
Schmidt, by the was her name.
Oh, okay.
Yes. She bought passage. Seemed to be in a hurry to go. She was glad she booked passage promptly. Wanted to come here and yeah.
Oh.
I don't know where she is now. She's either still in the port, or I think she said her name was Schmidt.
Yeah.
I think there's might be a Schmidt Ranch here.
Schmidt Ranch. Look up that. Yeah. Oh, interesting. Well, hopefully they're petrochemical people. When did you arrive here, by the way? Because it sounds like you're doing a pretty fast turnover.
It's like afternoon in their time. There's a 32-hour day cycle here.
Yeah.
She
guys
says, well, about 8 hours ago, actually.
Wow.
We just unloaded. We just done all this stuff. We're gonna unwind for a day or two, do a little speculating, and
okay.
figure out where we're going. I think
good service here.
Is the destination.
Sorry, you say again?
It's so. It's just another dry world starport.
Yep.
One of many.
Okay.
You've been around, Captain. You know what this is like.
I do, but sometimes it's nice to know just before you arrive somewhere a few of the sort of quirks of the natives, so to speak. Well, thank you very much. And I give him, I don't know, 100 credits for his time out of my own pocket, and say, well, good passage, safe passage, and I hope to cross paths with you one day and we can perhaps swap some more interesting stories.
100 credits for small talk that really didn't mean anything? He'd be looking at you weird.
Well, he
would be like,
I'll say, it's always good to make allies. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, Captain. I'll accept your gift. If we see you around, then if not, the Venusian Wind, huh?
Maybe
we'll meet. Well, maybe we'll meet here soon.
Okay. Well, I thank him and I get up. As I'm walking away, I'll just check with Verbal and Cowboy just again because they've been circulating. Nothing? Anything? Of the woman?
Not a sign of her anywhere.
Okay, rightio.
Nothing that looks like her anywhere in this bar.
Right.
Anywhere that you've seen the report.
Okay, as I head out of the bar, I'm going to ask Verbal. Verbal has a hand computer, doesn't he?
Yeah, he always.
I think I do. Yeah, and I think I may have unwisely not bothered to check how this world stands with the data from the Pliskin algorithm. So I didn't check that yet. Never mentioned it.
We're far away from them. They're dead. If it's a revenge, it's revenge, and we'll let Jug and all the other guys shoot him to pieces. Okay, but go and check it if you need to. I just want, once Verbal's done that, to get on and get a list of family names of ranches that are registered.
Okay, is there, have I started to pay for local internet, or do we even have a network?
Well, it's technology level 8, so they have a network in the city and information, and it'd be small though because it's like one town. But you could have access to all. Actually, I don't know if your hand computer will work, but there's a public kiosk that has information you could go up to and type on in and see what you could find.
Yeah.
And give me a computer roll, and we'll let you do that.
Okay. So as Verbal, I'm going to be with Verbal. I'm going to ask Cowboy and Jug to go further around separate and just scan for the woman. See if they can find her, and just keep her in sight. Don't approach her.
I'm on it. Do I have to roll?
They landed 8 hours ago.
Yep, but she might be gone. She might still be here. But you find out the names. Yep.
My computer roll is not quite 8.
7
Yeah.
plus 1. Okay.
No. 6
Well,
plus 1.
either way, it's a simple task. So you do come up with there's a Schmidt Ranch, which is down by one of the crevices. And there's another couple ranches by the mountains. There's about 3 or 4 ranches in the mountainous ranges of various names, but the Schmidt Ranch is southeast towards one of the crevices. But it's like 3,000 kilometers away, if not more. 3,000, 4,000.
So we're roughly here, aren't we? Roughly here?
Hold on, let me get back. I'm on the wrong page. Let me get back to it. You are roughly like here.
Yeah.
I just pegged it.
Yeah. Somewhere up here.
Okay.
So
the mountains are up like in this area, and the Schmidt Ranch is like down here. Remember, this is a size 10 world, so it's huge.
Yeah.
And it's heavy. You're already, getting tired just from walking around the Star Park because everything's heavier.
Yeah. Okay, so 3,000 clicks away. That's going to be 30 hours for us to get there by air raft.
Well, that's the thing, though. I'm going to tell you about the air raft. It won't be 30 hours by air raft. What you can do is if you go in the air raft, you can go up out of Atmo. And I'm going in my game, that would take 10 hours, supposedly, standard traveler. Well, I'm going to cut that in half. As long as you're backstood up, you can get to orbit in 5 hours and then drop back down, which would take you, it'll take you about a total of 7 hours in air raft, but you got to go up to orbit and then drop back to set yourself to orbit, and then
would it be any faster if we cut the total engines when we got to orbit? Just joking. Okay, rightio. First of all, I want to hear back from Jug and Cowboy if they've seen her anywhere. I'm waiting for Verbal to give me information on the Schmidt families. We know roughly where the ranch is. I'll also be looking out for any representatives of the Schmidt family ranches, and I'll be making some sort of overtures about wanting to trade with them.
I'm ready to shoot them if I see them.
Awesome. On stun, if you can, please, just for the moment. We will get around to shooting them.
What you do find out is there's an aircraft area, and these things cook, man. They go, if the aircraft, the hovercraft, the ones that he just sold, they can travel like Mach 2, Mach 3, so they can make it to the ranch in a couple hours. And what you do find out is that one left. There's a couple that left, but one of them left recently. And if you're talking about like within the hour after the Raspy Critter landed, one left in the direction of the Schmidt Ranch. There was a charter, and that one went to the crevice. There's one that left later in the afternoon towards the Mountainous Ranch. But the credentials for Jane Schmidt showed up as if she was a member of the family. So if you want to get on the keyboard, you could punch in that name. I need a computer success. This is a little bit difficult.
Yep. Come on, Verbal. Do your business. Earn your money. Earn your credits.
Yeah, if I can ever get a good roll today.
You can. Next one's going to be it.
Nope.
Hey, I look totally stunned at Verbal, and I'm going, perhaps if you held it up the correct way, you might be able to tap in her name.
It's my frozen fingers.
He's not on a Wi-Fi. He's at a kiosk.
Okay, I'll move him across and say, rightio, let's see if I can do any better.
You got computer?
Yep, computer 1. And the answer to that question is, yes, I can.
And what were you exactly looking for?
To which, if any, family Schmidt does Anne Schmidt belong to? Crevice or mountain?
The Jane Schmidt does not come out on the registries, but what does come out, the person Jane Schmidt is not in the registries of people in this facility, but what does come out is that a Jane Schmidt did charter. You did take it a layer into the system that she did charter with a piloting service, which flies people to and from the ranches, and that's she did charter one, and that one was headed to the Schmidt Ranch. So you do have verification that she left and she's on her way to the Schmidt Ranch.
And the Schmidt Ranch is the mountains or the crevice thing?
Crevice. It would be in the crevice, but it's through a whole variety of terrain.
Yep. But air rafts go above that, so that's all cool. Unless we're talking about floating rock. Yeah.
So you can't take the ships there. You can't. The ship's got to go just to the port. So
unless I get some sort of special permit and stuff. While I'm on the kiosk, I'll just quickly look up how much does it take, both time and money, and how Is this going to be a process I can do within like 15 minutes, or am I going to spend half a day to a day on it?
I'm doing what exactly?
Trying to get permission to take my ship from here to the Schmidt family. If I can get them to
You would
August
have to
to.
talk to someone at the council. And now Andrew's met up with you, and he's like, "Good day, gentlemen. How are things going?"
I
haven't
quickly
had
take the thing off the screen, so he doesn't know what I'm doing. Well, we've so far managed to track down the captain of the rasping critter. Interesting gentleman. Apparently she's already disembarked, and we're at the moment trying to find out where she is.
Well, good. We're here if you need us. We're here. We're interested
Right.
in that.
Well, we have
This
two
is,
leads. I've got 2 leads. I just want to do some more verification before we go any further. So I don't want to give you information in case it's all wrong, because that's not how I do things. But if you give me another hour or so, my team might be able to report back with some more verifiable information.
Okay, Captain. Sounds good to me. He said, I tried to get some permits. He says, the permit station, and they will not give out anything. They say it takes about 3 days, and they want to verify this and stamp that you have affiliations, and they will not let us move any ships.
Okay.
So I did look into that.
Thank you very much. So that's all right. That probably won't change what we end up doing anyway. Well, if you'll excuse me and my men, we'll go about our business. I don't believe she is on base, but we are doing a sweep, and I think you might want to continue doing a sweep just to ensure that we haven't missed anything. And as I said, I'll get back to you in about an hour's time.
Okay, keep me informed. We'll start doing a sweep ourselves.
Right.
And he goes off with his 2 guys and Simon's there.
I'll call Jug and Cowboy back. But while I'm doing that, do I see where there is an office here for the Schmidt Ranch on board in the city?
There's just like a small little trading post.
Okay.
There's information there. There's just somebody at the counter there, and it would be by petrochemicals, Schmidt Ranch labeled petrochemicals.
Right.
So I mean, it's.
Right. I'll open up a communique between the captain of the Venusian Wind and whatever representative has of the Schmidt Ranch to say that I have a 64 ton, isn't it?
64 ton, yeah, and it's empty right now.
Right, a 64 ton cargo hold begging to be used. I have recently come into some money, so I'm willing to make not that much of a profit if I can move some petrochemicals.
Sure, he says, but yeah, we'd be interested in making a sale with you on that. We can supply petrochemicals. We have them delivered here, so we can make a sale now.
Right, I'd like to meet in person though, because that's just how I do business.
Well, we'll have our broker will be here in the morning. Right now,
No, I work with the family. Sorry, the people who own the place. That's just how I work.
Well, the family's pretty private, sir. They keep to themselves pretty much to the most. Would you feel? So I don't know how I could help you that way.
Okay. And, because what I am planning to do is actually make some dedicated runs to certain areas that would probably increase their profit margin.
I see. Well, I mean, it is later in the evening, but I could maybe have them have contact with you by morning.
I'm willing to travel. I have an air raft. I've heard that there are some distances involved, but I'm willing to travel to them if that makes them feel a bit more comfortable. I'm willing to. I don't expect to be invited into the house, perhaps just in another building somewhere nearby. I don't know, but I do prefer to talk to people in person. I'm just an old style businessman.
Okay, let me get on the communicators then. You'd like to actually meet them, so let me see if I can contact one of the sons.
Right.
So he gets in contact. Hello, Jake. This is He's having a conversation.
Yeah.
He says, they don't understand why you want to go so far when you could just do the business. But if that's how you feel and you'd like to strike up an agreement and you're willing to travel, he says you could rent charter a jet or with a pilot, or you could take your air raft and whatever you want to do, and let them know when you would expect to make it. When you expect to come.
Well, thank you. Tell them I will definitely be, yes, definitely take them off on the offer. Do I have a channel, a frequency that I need to send my communique on to them?
No, he's taking care of all of it for you, but you just as long as they give you a transponder code to identify yourself when you approach the ranch.
Okay.
Because they're all about security. So you do have a transponder
totally understand
code.
that. Totally understand that. Yep. That's all good. Rightio. As we go back to the ship, I'm just going to pop into the drinking hole. Is the captain still there?
Let me see. Yeah, he is. But now he's a little more obnoxiously drunk.
Okay.
Yeah, but he's still coherent.
Okay. Well, right.
Yeah, he's still there talking with some of the same guys.
Okay. Well, I won't interrupt him now, but I will send a message when I get around to where Stoney has. Has Stoney seen anything?
Stoney hasn't seen anything really.
Right.
No,
I'll leave a second message on the video message, whatever. This one says, thank you for talking to me in the pub. I've also have a possible potential, if you're prepared to do like semi-permanent runs, some very profitable jobs. Call me on this number, blah 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 blah, if you're interested. Thank you. And then I'll end it with something like, always like to repay my debt. And then we'll go back to the ship and let's talk, guys. Okay, so I want to hear from the people who do this sort of, sneaking. I'm a merchant. I just rock up to the door and knock on the door, so I don't know, how to do it any other way. So I want my fighting people to tell me what's the best way to do this. I tell them what my plan is. Basically, this is actually a business deal I'm thinking of actually doing for real, but also to see if we can get to see if she's there, and if she is there, then the job will be for us to capture her and get the hell out of there.
Okay.
And then give her back to the knight, and then he can go from there. We're going to send
alive?
Yes, it's alive. And then we're going to send him on a wild goose chase to the mountain ranch while we do the other one.
How seriously wounded?
Not seriously wounded. Not wounded.
So okay, so what are you gonna? You're gonna meet with Andrew the hour later, and you're gonna tell him that you think he should check the mountain ranch. You're gonna check this other ranch. We're not sure which one, or how do you lay it out?
Basically, the story is going to be, I've narrowed it down to 2 ranches, like I said before. Didn't give me any details. We can't get any more verification, but there was a conveyance rented going both directions. We'll go for the south journey, you go for the north journey, and we'll just see if we can track it down that way.
Oh, and while you do that, he hands you the payment, or the transfers the payment electronically of the 150,000 credits, the 120. So for the goods.
Okay.
This is that, and then.
Yeah, but I want to tell
he
you.
Says, "Okay, well, we'll get out of that." He says, "You don't need more information than that. You think she's at these
one of these 2 places. I'm going, not just yet, but that's what I'm going to tell him as soon as this meeting's finished. Because I need to check in with Skyson. Did everything go okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
You check in with Skyson. And what exactly are you asking Skyson?
Well, basically, did the whole drop sort of go according to how he knows they all go, or was there anything untoward or unusual?
Towards what, the business dealing?
Yeah, like did a whole lot of military people turn up to offload these vehicles, or was it just business as usual?
It was more or less business as usual.
Okay.
One thing he did notice,
yeah,
that was pretty annoying. He doesn't know what purchase price he got these for, but he says, "Boy, that Sir Andrew made a lot of money off you. He sold them for like 180%, and their base price is $1 million on these. So he made millions off of your 120,000 credit transport.
Totally fine. If this plan works out, we're going to make millions off him wanting to get hold of this girl. That's why, and then I'll explain to the group this is want to do it all under stealth sort of thing. Because we might as well turn as much profit from this as possible. He's a nobleman. Noblemen know how to do one thing well: use people below their station. So let's start in.
And he did too.
So
he turned 6 million into like 10 million, and he paid you 120,000.
Yeah, and that's all cool. Got no problem with that. It's business. But this is also just business. So, Jug, if anyone does try to shoot at us, if you feel the need to shoot back at them and see if they bleed red, go for it. But don't kill the girl.
All right, I'm on it.
Because she's got the information about where these gemstones are, and...
Okay, now, how are you going to get there now? You guys loading up in the air raft?
First of all, I want to check out security of the ship, because I'd prefer everyone to come along. But what do we need to do? We can lock it on and turn on the anti-hijack software, and have a 59 code password or something like that.
Yeah, you can lock up the ship. It'll be secure there. It's locked up. It's in port, and you shouldn't have any issues. But you can't take the ship with you to the branch.
Right. So,
because of the laws.
Yeah, I'll also pay for 2 extra days. I mean, I don't know how long it's going to take. Probably a lot less, but we've got a week there.
You pay for a week automatically.
Yeah, no, pay for that. And I'm going to pay for 2 extra days just in case. But it's going to keep us sweet with the people at the station. And if I don't need to use it, I can always transfer it over to the cost of them pumping in the unrefined fuel, which I want them to do while we're away.
Yeah, you get a week for 100 credits, and then it's 100 credits every day after that, so you'll be good for 9 days. Yeah.
Yep, no, that's so cool. And I want them to pump in the... we'll pay for the fuel so the ship's ready to blast off us the second we get back.
How much fuel do we need? It's not Verbal's department, but
well, you burned 20 and a half tons, so it's 44 ton. Yeah, you could fuel's 100 a credit, so I would imagine it's only unrefined. You would have wanted to refuel. That might have been something you would have paid for promptly. You could pay them now, and they'll have it refueled when you get back. So
that's all fine. We'll do all that. So I'll put it to the team. I think we need to hire one of those things that sound like they get there a lot quicker, but then if we've got our own vessel, we can come and go as we please, but we're only going at a lot slower rate. And if they have one of those aircraft at their ranch, we're a lot slower.
Yeah.
So guys, thoughts? I want the military view of this. What's the best way to proceed?
Well, if you charter a craft, you're at the mercy of the chartered craft, which you know. If you take your air raft, it's your air raft.
Do these chartered crafts have much in the way of cargo space?
Not really, no. Mostly just passengers and a little bit of cargo. There's bigger ones, though, that they're more bigger, like planes that they use to haul like tankers. They fly stuff.
Well, these smaller ones, do they have at least 4 ton?
Yeah, definitely.
We can fit our air raft there. So they're taking us in our air raft there. And that way, if we need to, we can either leave the air raft or not. We still have transport. So okay. How much is it for the the hire of the place there and back again?
Well, for that range, he's going to say 500 credits, and with the passage, he's going to say 800 credits total round trip.
13. Round trip 1300. Okay, I want to meet the pilot, and I want to get a judge of the pilot. What's the pilot's name, by the way?
Pilot's name is Robert Smith.
Smith! So close to Schmidt. I asked him if he has any relatives on any ranches on the planet.
He goes, well, the Smith Ranch in the mountains.
Huh?
He says, we fly around. There's various ranches here, and they're basically all petrochemical drills that the families live on, and that's where they make their money. And of course, they have hydroponics and their own food and their own air, and they basically.
Great.
So he says, yeah, I know most of the families here. You're doing business. My job, I'm a pilot. I transport people and transport things.
Good. We'll be transporting me and my team and our aircraft down to, and I give them the location and the name of the family. Any relatives there?
No, but I'm familiar with them. They run a pretty good business. They do quite well.
Good. Good to know. If you think of anything else that might be useful in a business sense, and you want to make a little bit of extra profit, please at some time inform me.
Sounds great. When are we leaving?
Whenever we are leaving once I've got the ship locked down, fed, and everyone's got their gear loaded onto this thing that's going to take us there, as well as the aircraft.
Well, you would definitely want your vac suits because you're going to be out in that environment, and if you do come back in the aircraft, you're going to have to go up out of Atmo and drop back down. Otherwise, it'll take days. If you don't do it that way. And maybe a pressure tent and survival gear in case you have any issues. You'd have that in the trunk of the aircraft.
Yep, we'll do all that. And then your weapons and armor.
But you could carry that openly, I would imagine.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And
so you're going to
if you've got reflex, if you've got reflex, wear it under a vac suit. Yep. Sorry.
So you have your dog and Andrew, hey? You're telling him to go into the mountains?
No, I'm waiting until we leave. And I'll contact him shortly after we leave.
Sorry.
Or no, he's got some serious marks. They might be backup help here. You don't know what you're getting into.
I know.
But anyway.
But if we do it all by ourselves and we hold the girl, we hold the information about the jewels, we hold the noble by the balls, we can make more profit.
Just like a true merchant.
Yep.
And everything.
Yeah, and Jug, if anyone gets in our way, I will assume that you're a very good expert with those weapons.
Which he is.
Yep. So
pretend that's a compliment.
Okay. Radio. So yeah, just trying to be as mercenary merchant as possible, really. So yeah, so I'm just trying to work out what the best thing is. So as we're traveling, I'd say, how fast are these? How long is it going to take to get from the city to?
They can go about what is Mach 2? Like 1,400 miles per hour, 2,000 kilometers per hour, something like that. We'll say 1,500 kilometers per hour. It'll take you about just a little over 2 hours at full speed to make it to the ranch of these bad boys.
Radio. So that's all cool. So an hour into our trip, we're already halfway ahead of him. That's not much time, but it's something. An hour into our trip is when I ring up his lordship and say, okay, my team and I have gotten on to one. We're going to head down to the southern and I'll just say southern, I won't say exactly where it is. I'm not going to be on the phone long enough for him to trace this. He'll have to go through the business. But I give him the location of the northern one and say that's the other possible location. We'll be in contact when we have arrived and scoped out the area. Good hunting, good luck. And I'll sign off real quick.
So you send that message to him, which all you can do, to his communicator, and you're off. So you just leave him a message. Okay.
No. Well, if he sends a message, I'll look at it, but I'm not going to reply. I'll see if he has to say anything. I'll see what he says. But I'm doing that as we're roughly at the hour after we've left the city.
You're at the hour out. You guys are screaming, flying.
Yep.
But you hit some turbulence.
Yep.
Things get a little rough. And I mean, it's almost scary. Like, whoa, I didn't expect these wind gusts. They'll shake you once in a while. So it seems like there's some kind of dust storm type of thing, which is slowing him down, and it's concerned. So he's going to have to work around that. It's going to add a little more time. Or you could push through it, but he's saying it's dangerous. It could create to go through it. So
he's the expert. Unless it really becomes a huge time thing, I will let him do his deal. Verbal, I want you to use your hand computer if you can somehow patch into our machine and somehow patch into sensors just to make sure nobody's following us.
Okay, you mean around our convention. What is this? A hovercraft? You said Mach 2?
It's a bloody fast hovercraft. It scares me, but anyway, yeah.
It's a hovercraft jet.
Yeah.
It does both. It can hover, but then the hover part, it also has a jet on the back of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so the question is, are we being followed?
Just keep a track on it somehow.
Yeah. Over time.
Nice.
Now I roll better.
Is that your roll?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is. That's a nice roll.
Yeah, you did connect. You have nothing following you as far as you can tell.
Cool.
Okay.
There's nothing out here.
Yep.
There's
By the way, medic verbal is all about the gravol, so he passes it out like a sacrament.
Cool. Keep your eye on that, okay? Radio. Away from the pilot of the ship, we'll just meet in the back of the vessel, and I'm going to ask Verbal if he can get any sort of satellite telemetry of what this ranch looks like, so we've got a rough idea of the situation in front of us, because then I'm going to leave the actual kidnap and escape in the capable hands of the more military-minded of my team.
Well, we're not in orbit, so would I have to hack the local satellites to get a view of the planet? Is that what you're asking me to do?
You're not going to be able to do that because you're too far disconnected to everything. You were able. The only way you were able to tell if anything was following is you hacked it to with your hand computer and the Wi-Fi. You hacked it to the sensors of the jet.
Right.
Yeah.
But you're not going to be able to get satellite telemetry of the facility.
No, we can't get a planetary view from the way we're crawling on the surface.
Yeah. Okay. You would have to have done that from your ship. But you guys didn't do that. You just came down and landed. There's a lot of storms and dusts and clouds. They're not water precipitation. Yeah. They're dusty clouds.
That'll explain Verbal's bad rolls earlier.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. That's okay.
But you did figure out that you're free clear. You did connect and see that there is absolutely nothing following you in any direction. Nothing behind you, nothing in front of you. You are in the middle of nowhere land, man.
Perfect.
And it's kind of scary because it's cold, it's unbreathable, and it's dry.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like a place you want to get stuck by any means.
Oh, that's cool. So we're all together in the back, just talking quietly or whatever. I just want to hear what the team has suggestions as to how do we approach this. Our goal is to capture the woman, get her back, give her to the noble, and that's it.
Gems. Gems are more important than the woman.
She'll know where they are. It's up to him to get them.
I suggest a honey trap.
A honey trap?
Honey.
Who's going to be the honey?
What's that? Is Jug suggesting himself?
I don't know. No, I think Jug is more willing to use his weapons of destruction. I don't know.
I'm sort of maybe I make a joke with a fake Scottish accent. I'd say, "Oh, Captain, Jug, please, the penicillin just can't take any more."
Well, actually, a honey trap for a woman would be money.
Right.
Oh, what? Yeah, okay. Not your fine self.
You really think that you would be able to offer her more than what she's got in her possession, or that she doesn't have ties to higher organizations in what she just did?
Does she own her own ship, I wonder?
She's a woman. Of course she's going to want every dollar that falls in front of her.
Yeah. Okay. Righto, gentlemen. I think we'll be offering the Venusian Wind to her. Of course she's not going to get her hands on it. But and to do that, she would need to come back and see the ship, wouldn't she? Perhaps I could talk to her quietly after I've talked to the other people about this long-term deal, and perhaps she might be interested in doing.
Are we clever enough to work out an elaborate lie in transit? Why don't we just grab
Gentlemen, we're landing in about 15 minutes. We've made our approach at the ranch.
Excellent.
Coming on up right now. So you're going to want to unload the air raft, or you want me to wait for a minute or a couple hours and we just pay for it, or what's the point?
You're staying here until we finish the business, and then we're turning around and going back. Because that's what I hired you for, there and back.
Okay.
Yep.
So we'll dock in one land.
Yep. Okay.
So he's just about landing on a pad. You see these dome buildings. There's a bunch of different buildings, and there's also a couple bays. There's a bay with a small ship up that's landed on top of that bay.
Okay, Stoney. I'll ask Stoney if he can sort of work out what that ship might be capable of. He's the engineer.
Yeah, is that the rabid crapper or whatever it is?
No, hopefully it's not.
The Rusty Critter? No, it's not the Rusty Critter.
No, I like the rabid. I like the rabid crapper.
I need a roll for Stoney.
Yep. +2 with his engineering.
Yeah.
Or not? Yeah, it is. Okay, just want to make
sure.
He's only got a 7, so he might not get much.
All he can tell is it's a 100-ton ship of some sort. Looks like it might be able to hold some cargo.
Okay, 100-ton ship. So. Crappy.
And it's just sitting up there. It looks like it's loading up some petrochemicals, and it's probably about ready to roll.
Yeah.
So there's it's all dusty. One of the things you notice is a lot of these people, they can talk, but they're dressed like the Mandalorian. They have this gear and these helmets, and they comes down, but they're not exactly like, it's like hello, I'm from the family. Can I help you? He comes down. He speaks through the speaker. Are you guys wearing your vac suits, or what are you doing?
We are wearing our vac suits as instructed by the pilot of this vessel. I am Captain Rodrigo of the Venusian Wind. I believe I have a meeting with such and such, and I've used the transponder code. Oh, okay. I sincerely hope so, Jug. I sincerely hope so.
So petrochemicals. So you want to buy how many tons? Well, I mean, you came a long way. You could have done your business back at the port, but anyways.
No, I prefer to talk in person to people because I have a proposition.
So he comes down, and of course he's down, and you notice from there's security. There's some guys up on different locations, like sharpshooters, just in case you are a crook. And he's got a guy next to him who seems pretty Brutus. And he says, well, come on in. He says, come on into my main area.
Okay.
And we
first of all, I say to him, as you're aware, we are off-worlders, and my men felt comfortable with their weapons. Is there somewhere where they can store their weapons? Because I don't want to come on overly.
He never even suggested or cares that you're even carrying your weapon. I have no problem with your weapons as long as you don't raise them or point them at me and you keep them holstered. I'm not here for combat.
No, that's fine. I just want to make sure that my intentions are known, and that
we have no carries guns here on Chocolat. We all carry guns.
Oh, that's good.
Because none of us take any shit. He says, anyways, there's like a dome building. He says, let's enter in here, and he says we can go in here and discuss business. We can take off our helmets.
Oh yeah. So the
So it goes on.
Yep. We'll walk over. I'm just thinking, does anyone want to stay with the pilot of this vessel, or do you all want to come in?
What's that? We should. I think we should be in as big a group as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you think?
Just thinking about different vectors. That's all. But okay, that's all cool. Okay, so
Purple can fight. He's often overlooked.
Yeah, what you could have done is just had the pilot drop the air raft and then load it back afterwards. So if something happens with the pilot, your air raft will be sitting there.
Yeah. No, that's so cool. That's so cool. My men can offload cargo pretty quickly, so they'll be able to do that if they need to. If anything happens to the pirate, I'm saying. So
he wants to make a purchase with you. The petrochemicals go for 10,000 a ton.
Mm-hmm. So, have you thought of, like, I'm assuming here that you haven't established any permanent lines. It's more of a speculatory nature.
Oh, we have business with several different people from all over. They come in and they buy, and we sell them when they want to buy.
Okay.
And we sell to them for a good price, and they make money, and we make money, and we support our family here.
Right, yeah.
And we buy goods when we travel about.
Would it be helpful if you had people, off-worlders obviously, who were prepared to make permanent runs to areas that would want your product, which might bump up the profit, which of course means more money back to the family?
Yeah, we have some of those already pre-established. So I mean, we've got plenty of business. So I mean, do you want to buy some petrochemicals or not?
Definitely. I just thought that we could establish some sort of more permanent relationship.
Pierre is with you. We could do an admin role now. They run a base price of 10,000 a ton.
Yeah. Okay.
And what's my admin again? Let's see. The thing was, well, just a 1, I guess. Yeah.
You got a 1. So you're gonna roll 2D. I want you to roll 2D. Let me see them. So what we're gonna do. They're at 10,000. Where are these? I'm gonna give you a -3 to the roll for the purchase price with your 1. We're going to go a little off the tables here because there's a plan. We'll see.
Okay, so how does that work? 2d6 plus 1 minus 3?
No, it's all minus. Your admin is a minus to the purchase, and it's a plus to the sell. So it's a -3 total.
Okay, I get it.
So roll double 1s.
Yeah. He rolls a 5 total. Which is good, which means that you can get them for 80%, 8,000 a ton. And he goes, and how many tons would you like, sir?
If we've got the money to do it, we'll take all 64.
64 tons?
If we've got the money. Which I think
you guys do have the money. You got 49, 8,000 times 64. You have 49.
Okay. I'll still be pressing the point that I might be a very good person to have as on a permanent sort of basis, and we could set up a sort of a supply run, trying to keep on pointing out all the just trying to be the whole merchant sales sort of thing.
Next time you come, we could set up we could set up some permits for you. Permits usually come through the family. They never release permits till you're a supplied customer. And then once you have a permit and a transponder code, you could come directly to a ranch and purchase.
Well,
so I will put that in the works when you get that. We can't put that into the works until you get back to your thing.
Yep.
But okay.
No,
so credits.
Happy to do that. I also tell them, although my ship is deceivingly small, it is a very fast ship. Which means that we could deliver your product a lot faster than some other ships and at a greater range. I can't, of course, divulge.
Well, I don't care where you deliver to, just as long as you come and buy it. I don't deal with delivering. I just deal with selling it. And if you want to come and buy it, you want to sell it, we'll have a great relationship. Beyond that, I don't give a damn. He says, well, that'll be 512,000 credits.
Well,
at 8,000 credit.
If he has the appropriate electronic devices for me to transfer the funds, I'll do that.
Yeah, he can do that. He can make that happen. Right. So you transfer the funds. He sees it's good. He knows which bay your ship is in, and he will have the cargo ready to be loaded when you're ready to return to your ship. Or, I mean, if nobody's at the ship, though, so you can't unlock it. They'll be in 1-ton containers.
Yep.
And there's 64 of them of the petrochemicals.
That's so cool.
So your cargo bay will be full of petrochemicals.
I'll start talking about how I don't know about a bullshit role because this character doesn't have bullshit. About the known quality of the hospitality of the people of whatever the hell this bloody little backwater place is. Choky lot. Of the hospitality. So I was hoping to experience some of that, but if that is our business conducted, I understand efficiency.
Yes. He says, well, this is how we do stuff here. I mean, we basically we farm petrochemicals, we produce our own food, we thaw ice, and we live. Right. And we live as free. We call ourselves ranchers. We're petrochemical cowboys.
Right. So
I mean, we grow our own. We're self-sustained. But I mean, most people are not real friendly to outsiders, and especially nobles and aristocrats. We tend to not care.
You can definitely see we're not nobles or aristocrats.
Oh, you're traitors. But I don't have much taste for nobles.
Right.
They tend to make a lot of money off of us. They know we need certain things. And
well, that brings me to this. How do you get any other goods that you can't produce locally?
Oh, we have it brought to us and we buy it.
Right. And do you feel that you're getting a fair deal, that the price is appropriate, or do you think sometimes people squeeze you for a bit more money than they need to?
Well, business is business. They might squeeze, but we might have the money, and if it doesn't feel like a squeeze, it's not so bad. He starts talking. He's got kind of like a cowboy way about him. Mm-hmm. He says, you don't feel like you're getting screwed if you don't know you're getting screwed.
Right.
If you're hurt going in, you don't notice it. So that's what he says. He says something on the lines like that.
Yep.
In a derogatory sense.
Yeah. So just being purely a businessman, I'll appeal to.
Excuse me now. I think one of my customers is about ready to leave.
Oh, certainly, I'll wait.
So he waits, and then next thing you know, there's this little ship that just takes off. That little ship is just
Radio. While he's doing that,
you get a weird intuitive feeling in your gut.
Yeah. I just want Verbal to try to find a way to take down any particulars about that ship on his hand computer.
Oh, okay. Camera.
He's tending to the client and wait.
Optical zoom, digital zoom,
whatever. Just get some information on that ship.
Okay. This is again.
All the information that you have on that ship is that it's loaded with petrochemicals, unless you ask something promptly.
Yeah, well, usually there's some sort of identifier, either signature, serial numbers or something.
That's still
all right. Let me
roll.
You're going to scan on in and see. You're going to take a shot, see if you can scan into it. I need a roll.
Okay.
I need a 2 roll and tell you, and that'll tell me everything. 8 is good enough. And 8 will work. You can check your handouts as of right now.
Mm-hmm.
Handouts.
Add it to your handouts right now. It's called the Spirit Hawk. You could read about it. It's a small ship. It's jump to capable. It's super fast. It came here and it's on its way. It's got petrochemicals and it's on its way out of here. Those petrochemicals have the highest value on a place called Gakik, which is we can change the map behind you. Hang on, I'm gonna change things. Steve, go back to the player menu. I'm gonna delete this one.
Which one? The start.
Yeah, the start. We're gonna.
I might have jumped over to some other map, but anyway, I'm at the Agweedo. The one that's after
the map.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're at the map now.
Yep.
Which you're at the start. The world that you want to go to is Gakik. And Gakik could be the next destination that you're going to go to.
Mm-hmm.
He says, well, that was my buddy. He just left. It's funny. He says to you, they come in and out. They're kind of shady fellows. They bring us some supplies, guns, whatever we want. We usually trade for the petrochemicals once in a while with this guy when he comes through.
Oh.
He left with a woman. And there's a woman that left with him. He bought petrochemicals. She came to stay here. She was traveling to meet him, and I don't know, they had some plan. Yeah. This is a silly woman.
Yeah,
said she was related, but I don't know her.
Oh,
she was related to us. She said her name was Schmidt, Jane Schmidt. Husband recently died, and she left with our friends, and they're gone now. They just took off. They're on their way out of Atmel right now.
Well, isn't that lovely? I will make like I'm making one last attempt to try to get something more permanent than what he said, and give up in a couple of minutes, and then hustle the group as quickly as possible back into the thing. And I will say to the guy, I will double, triple the price of you getting us back to the starbase if you can get us back there in a really short time period.
He says I can only get up to 2 Gs. It's going to take a couple hours. So,
well, it's your profit or not.
I'll try to punch it. I'll see what I can do, or maybe I can get it down to an hour and a half, but there'll be some risk involved, especially if there's storms. We could end up in the side of a mountain if you push it that hard. I don't think
you mean Mach 2, not 2G, right?
Mach 2. Yeah. You're in Atmel. Yeah. That's an aircraft. It's not a spaceship.
I just tell him if he can get me to the spaceport in a quicker time than it took him to get us out here, I'm willing to pay him a bit of extra money.
You can call and you can access at least everything else is locked, but you could already have the petrochemicals beginning to be loaded in just your cargo bay. No one could access anything else, but the Schmidt company will be loading those in, so they'll be ready for you when you take off.
Yep.
So, in order to have that done,
we'll leave the anti-hijack software on for the rest of the ship, and only open the cargo bay doors so they can load that stuff, and have all the cameras on it recording.
So are we doing this remotely?
Yeah,
we're not there yet.
Yeah,
you called it in, and they know which dock you're at, so you could have put it in. You didn't leave anybody back at the ship to do it, so you got to do it remotely.
We'll also inform when we're about a half an hour out from the Schmidt farm. I'll contact the nobleman,
Andrew Bauer, Sir Andrew.
Yep. And see where he's at.
He said, "Well, we're at we got no luck here." He said, "I'm at the mountain resorts, and there's nobody here. Nobody's seen anything of the likes of her." No,
right.
She hasn't.
Well, our direction slightly paid off better. She was here, but she's already taken off in another ship. We are heading back to the starport to jump after her very quickly. So, because they must have...
Head back right now. Do you know anything about the ship? Maybe we can get a jump on her ourselves.
It's a very small, fast ship, but what we need to do is find out where it's headed. I believe... No, I'm not going to say where I believe it is, because the guy said Glack or whatever. I don't know. I'm working on where they might be. I'll call you back later. We've got an hour and a half to come up with some of the story, guys. If we want to. Yeah. Might be a good place to leave it for tonight, because it's... I don't know. Well, what's your time over there?
It's 9 o'clock my time. I can go for another half hour or so.
Yeah, I just don't know how much more we'll get. Well, I don't mind going into it. It's just I don't know what the other guys want to do. What do you guys
How you guys do it?
I'm okay here. It's 11 o'clock. I'm still good for a little bit.
Okay, sweet. And
let's go for 20 minutes or a half hour, and then we'll call it right there.
Okay. Well, sweet.
Because now we can get into the pursuit. You can see what you can do, and you can get back. And right now...
just talking to the team, are we going to reveal the information we know to the noble, or are we going to go charging off and give him a slightly different place? What do we want to do?
We don't want to mislead him too much, or jerk his chain.
I know. But
you're handling all this devious double talk stuff.
Yeah. But the thing I've got to remember is we can make a hell of a lot more profit if we get hold of her first. And then
you know what? You're gonna make a ton of money just on the petrochemicals, probably more than you would even.
I know. Well, you've still got to pay the basic bills before you go anywhere else. So I just want to know what the team are happy to engage in. Are you happy to carry on with this whole double speak stuff, or do you feel that it's just time to come clean and not make so much of a profit? Skyson, what do you say? You had a bit to say about him before.
What did I think about? Well, did Jack form an opinion of Sir Andrew? I don't know. Jack is sort of a...
well, Jack Skyson also just saw him kind of shadily use you for the cargo load and act like he was paying you so well for it at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And they also treated you as heroes. And Rodrigo, he's now taken the girl you just had an affair with to be his own servant on his ship. So, I mean, that's also, even though you may not have had emotional attachment, she was still pretty wicked. So that would still kind of be a little icky. Even though you're, so I mean, you guys have all those things going on. So consider that.
There is a lot to be balanced in the cosmic accounting book.
Yeah, that may tip Skyson to give Sir Andrew the shaft.
But then again, these gems are even if you took them on your own, you heard the value of those gems too.
No. I don't want to take them on their own. I would take them and then take them back to the planet and say, look, I think I can do this. I know that the reward is $500,000 or whatever, or $1 million, but it's going to require a bit more money on my part to actually retrieve them. So I'm looking for at least, $2 million.
Yeah, you might be able to pull something like that out. Yeah.
And that's, so even if we got $1 million, I would be assuming that somehow the nobleman would try to cut into some of that. If I can get it, so I get there first, and we get there first. I beg your pardon.
Well, is the reward from Sir Andrew himself, or is it from the so-called king? Was there a king?
Yeah, so the king might be offering a shitload more than we're not aware of. He's already done it once.
You don't know how that would work. You only know these nobles they're fun and but they're also devious and profitable.
Yeah, of course they are. Of course they are. So, I just want to know what the group think before we commit to a certain action, whatever that action is. Yes.
I caution that we've gotten the we got the Pliskin organization, or the remnants of the Pliskins, angry at us. Do we want these nobles angry at us, and they just sort of telegraph their displeasure to all the other nobles in their little ritzy circles?
Well, you guys get back to the starport, but you know what? I hate to tell you this, even from a size 8 world, that other little ship, it only takes it 163 minutes to make it to jump at 6G acceleration, even from a size, or 172 from a size 8 world.
That's fine.
It takes 420 minutes. It's gone. It's definitely gone.
We're not going to catch up with it in this system, but we are assuming it's going to go to Glac. So I'm just wondering.
You're missing the eye. It's actually Glacic. And I will pull before we cut off the session. We'll pull up Glacic on the.
So we don't have the access to that information just yet. I just want to know from the group, yes or no. Do we carry on with the double twist, or do you want to just be all straight from now on? So
I don't think we should make more enemies, is my point.
Okay, so Verbal saying keep it straight. Skyson is saying twist the bastard's arm off.
I say we give them straight up. Don't lie to anybody.
Okay.
If you're going to shoot. Don't lie.
You can play them for money, but it's your call. You guys are the players. Here's what Glacic looks like. We'll describe Glacic to you as you're punching it in. You're loaded up with petrochemicals. You made a good business deal. Glacic is it's considered, in some ways, even though it's a lower population, it's considered industrial in a way.
Mm-hmm.
It's a poor world. Let me pull up. I'm going to look on the charts and tables and see how this works out. But Glacic is. They use the petrochemicals for different fuels, and they also turn some of it into plastics and certain things that they make and that they need. So that those petrochemicals are in high demand there, and it would sell at a plus. It's non-agriculture. It sells at a +3 plus your broker skill on that world. It's treated that specific, even though it's listed as non-industrial because of the population. It's treated as industrial for the sale of petrochemicals. So you would be looking at a +4 to the sale on just the petrochemicals alone. So you're looking at a good deal of money just on that alone. So you're assuming the 20 tons of petrochemicals that the small ship was probably loaded with, plus they got the jewel theft, which is on board, which was also more than likely planned to meet her and have her go on this fast ship to get away quicker.
Okay, so how's this, guys? We'll get into space. We'll head out halfway to our jump point. Hopefully his lordship is like a little bit behind us. And as we're about to jump, we'll give them the directions so that they're a little bit behind us. We'll get a couple of hours in system before them.
You're going to have him follow you to Galactic, or are you just going to go without him?
Well, we're going to send it off, but we're not going to be with him. I want to have some sort of edge, if you like. If we ever get to encounter this little ship, it's a 100-ton ship. Even though it can have triple turrets, we've still got 2 turrets to its 1. So
it's got 1 triple turret, but it's super fast.
Yeah,
it's
cool.
hard. You can't keep up with it. It's 6G. It's bad, boy. It's its own.
Yeah, but if we do manage to catch up with it,
specialty freighter.
We can still slow it down with the right hits if we're lucky. But that's the plan. I'm just going to try to give us as much hedge space as possible between us and the little noble. Still telling the truth, but just be a bit late with it.
Okay.
Well, it's your
so
game.
You're going to be damn near ready to jump and say, we're in pursuit. We believe they're going here. Here's the coordinates. We're jumping now, and then he'll be hours behind you. Especially if you go right. They're still they're still headed back for the mountains.
Yeah. Yep.
So
we're going to go into space. I'm going to say we're hoping to catch up with them, and then after and I say we haven't. Oh, and here's the where we think they're heading. We're heading there now. Boom.
So better yet, why don't you just leave a recorded message? It'll take him a while to even get back and get it, and then you'll be having maybe even a day ahead up on him.
He'd probably ask me why I didn't call him directly.
You're going to call him and do that.
But once we're in space and they're still getting their ass off the ground, sort of thing.
Close to the jump range, you're gonna call or leave a message.
Yeah.
To him and communicate to him through the trans.
And so my bullshit line is we were hoping to catch them in space, didn't do it, so we believe they're going to Galactic, coordinates, blah 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 blah. We'll meet you in system there. Hopefully we'll catch up to them.
Yes. We're gonna tell you a little bit about Galactic. As you can see, it's got an starport.
Sorry, just before we do that, the other part to the message will be very limited amount of info that Pierre managed to get when he took the recording of it. Sorry, that's what I just wanted to say.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You mean the ship?
Okay.
Yeah, the ship, the little one.
Yeah. So you're acting like you're an ally, but you want to be a step ahead of them, so you actually get the girl and get the core. You're trying to.
Well, I don't know. It leaves it open. It's only a very, very small window, but it leaves it open if we decide to. If we gain some sort of advantage.
We'll tell you a little bit about Galactic. Let me run through and explain it to you. Galactic, of course, has an E-Frontier installation starport. There's no real repair facilities. It runs at a technology level 7, but it's mostly where ships land and trade goods and take off again. Yep. Galactic was actually once, they're dealing minerals and precious metals, but they need the petrochemicals to make plastics and elements of their own and to run some of their equipment. So the petrochemicals are of a high value to them. It's small. It's a small world, only 2,000 miles in diameter. It's kind of like the moon in a way.
Yep.
It's actually Galactic orbits a gas giant. It is the moon of a gas giant, but it's the main world. And because of the metal resources that is on it is why people live there. Of course, there's no atmosphere. So everything is cities and highways and things that run underground. There's no free hydrographics, but there are ice caps in the craters and ice caps where they tap into that for water resources. There is tens of millions of people. The government is a charismatic dictator. He's called the Supreme Leader.
Oh, God.
And he was actually the one who formatted it. And people, if they don't like him, they don't say it. But in all, they're generally happy with him. And he basically, the citizens are work for him, and it's his business that deals with the petrochemicals. It was a corporation that turned into a dictatorship.
I'm just thinking his name's got rhymes with Pliskin or something, by the way he's being described.
No, not that you're aware of.
Not yet. Yeah.
No, not that you're aware of at this point. The law level is 8. Long-bladed weapons are controlled, and open possession is prohibited. You can carry weapons You can carry blades. It's frowned upon, but there's no guns. No guns anywhere. It's melee weapons and blades, and if you're caught, it's a very serious penalty. Yeah. The only people that carry guns are the law enforcement and the military. Mm-hmm. No one on that planet carries any weapons. So if you have any conflicts, it's going to be a melee type of engagement. And if you do risk carrying any guns, you're going to be dealing with serious legal ramifications, like years in prison, years in jail.
Oh, that's terrible because we're going to a bigger population world, more law, dictator. We had a better chance of grabbing the girl on this planet than on that one.
You guys were busy chatting and flu-boing instead of wondering what that ship was and going right to the base.
That's the whole point of what I got Stoney to do, to see if I could find out anything about the ship. Unfortunately, the role wasn't there.
Rodrigo's approach was good. He was angling for information. It's just that thing took off from this ranch.
We know roughly where it's headed.
Yeah.
So, too, though, I mean, they don't have restrictions. Ships can land anywhere and everywhere on there, so you're not exactly sure where that ship might be going. But mostly ships land at the starport. It's a rock.
Yep.
It's a vacuum rock with ice caps and underground cities. There are there's like 88 million people on it. They all live within these cities and habitations under the ground. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's at 20 to 25% gravity, so they're taller and slinky, and you're lighter and you're able to jump further, and it's a little more gravity than our moon. It's a small place. But that's where.
Can you tell me? Because it's a moon orbiting a gas giant. Is there a hell of a lot of radiation on the surface of the planet, or not?
No, the orbit of the planet is at a good non-radiant distance.
Okay.
It's also a cold world. That's what maintains the ice caps.
Yeah.
But the gas giant is a small gas giant. It doesn't put out a lot of radiation unless you're super close. And the radiation's really not a concern with your ship and your gravity. Yeah. That takes care of the radiation. But it is a good source for easy fuel.
Yeah.
I mean, because really, you got an east starport, so there's not much fuel. So most ships skim and land, and then skim and land again. But you're looking at another jump too. You have no passengers. You just took off.
Yep.
And you're looking at another. You did refuel. I'll have to total that up too. So, and you also did that money you spent whining and dining and the credits. Was that out of your personal? No, that would be out of the ship funds.
The whining, the dining, the captain, and the hireage of the hovercraft thing was all out of Rodrigo's money.
Well, Rodrigo spent that himself instead of the ship funds?
Yeah. He had a plan. He needed.
I don't know if Mike's going to be happy with that, but
of course he is. Of course he is.
All right.
It's all in the chase of a bigger profit.
Okay. All right.
But
you did spend
$512.
You have 64. That's true. 64 tons of petrochemicals as of right now.
That's okay.
And we can end this session with you guys leaving that message.
Yep. Okay. And
sorry, what message? Sorry.
To the noble that we believe were on. Couldn't contact them in space, so we believe they're heading to Glacic, and we're going there. And okay, basically while we're heading out, just please edit something out of your data so it's still general enough. So a 100-ton ship, looks like it's a fast mover, probably a 2-jump ship because we're going to Glacic. Try to be a bit vague with your information.
Okay, give me a roll on that. Who's sending that message? You have a pure send it?
Well, verbal, verbal can do all that.
Well, 2D plus 2. The message will be sent.
Okay, I don't think verbal has to be the radio operator in particular, but here you go.
Yeah.
What does that mean then?
That's enough.
Well, the message is sent, but it may come out misconstrued, but you don't know because it's you're only able to send a message because he's off and about. He'll have to listen to it, and he may it's close enough, but he may misunderstand it.
Yeah, he might misunderstand it because of the backing track of Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds I put on it.
I just pat Verbal on the back and say, "Good job. Now let's get the hell out of here."
Yeah. Okay. All right. So we're like accelerating to get to 100 diameters, or did we already do that?
We are very close to jumping.
Okay, about to jump, and yeah, it's.
Yeah.
I leave the devious plans to Rodrigo. He was doing very good, and he was trying to angle for information at the ranch, and did a pretty good job. But the ship took off. Damn it! We're always just inches away.
Yeah, we're going to leave right now with you're reaching jump point, and we're going to leave. You got a 2D plus 2 roll. And because you have a stretch jump and you're running on refined fuel. Okay, so I want you to make that jump roll. Remember, you got a 50% roll if you go over. Oh, and he pulls it off again.
Rightio. We're in jump.
You still...
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just want to say, remind me next time, because it's going to probably refuel in the gas giant. That's more time it's got to take, so we might be able to get it there, guys. Just remember that next time.
What's that?
The ship's going to have to probably refuel in the gas giant. So when we come in, we're going to be searching for it around the gas giant as it's refueling, and hopefully get to it by that time, because gas refueling takes around about 8 hours, I think.
If they do it first,
I think 4 hours.
Yeah.
I think
they're so like
it takes time.
The world is orbiting the gas giant, so they don't have to maneuver hours between the gas giant and the main world. It's the same thing.
Let's a second now. Let's check the time.
Oh, that's for Nick. I just want to mention it so that we've got it now. My next time when we start, so we can say.
Next time you start, I got to add a little bit to what you're just saying here. Yep. The next time you start, remember, it took them 172 minutes. Mm-hmm. To get to jump point. They took off while you were doodaddling and getting ready, finishing your conversation.
We were 17 minutes at the station.
They were already in jump. Then it took you time to get back. By the time you got back and took off, for you to get to the 1G point, which it takes a little longer to take off at 1G because it's a heavy world, that was 400 and some minutes. So at 6G acceleration, they could have taken off, come out of jump, be refueled, and be about ready to land when you're first going to get fuel. But all of that will come out in the next session.
Yep, that's right. That's right.
So your jump, I wanted you to roll for the jump, because sooner or later you guys are pushing these jumps. Something's going to go sour, and if you have a missed jump,
yeah.
So it'd be great for it to happen at the beginning. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Stoney is also going to just as we engage a jump, he's still going to look and try to see how this whole bloody thing works. There you go. Hope it's got him closer to understanding it.
The Stoney's taking a look at how it works.
Yep.
He's got an idea how it works. The one thing though is because it's a stretch jump, that's where it's really tricky to the pilot. Mm-hmm. He can't control possibility of that mishap, but he does know he does feel you're safer at jump 2. He's a little scared if you try to stretch it to the 3 and 4.
That's okay, but with each step of that, he's getting a little bit of an idea about how to repair the bloody thing if it ever breaks down.
He might he's got a good idea how it works. It's intriguing to him. Mm-hmm. I mean, he couldn't duplicate the technology himself, though. No. I mean, that's the thing. If this drive gets damaged to some level, you're out of it. It's gone. Your gift is gone.
And that's
where we're going to leave off.
Yep, that's cool. But that's why I want him to look at it so he can at least try to work on fixing it, should it come to that.
Yeah.
But anyway, okay, so do you want me to turn the recording off?
Yep, I say